There was a little bit too much spread asshole.
Old man asshole.
How do you think?
Asshole.
How do you think? I felt I was in the fucking room.
Yeah.
I was in the room.
Well, that's on you, dog. I would have been like, all right, Dad, you got to go do this.
That was a creative decision. I was like, yo, fuck that. I'm not in the room. And he was like, oh, if I'm getting my asshole waxed, you're watching.
Bro.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. We got another episode with our in this case third and fourth mic. We got Jake and Josh Wolf on the show. Josh's son Jacob is joining him. It was one of those ones where we just went for like an hour and a half, so they're just doing the full episode with us again.
It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Those are always our best.
Josh is a great laugher. Good. It's good to have a great laugher.
He texts, ha.
Yeah.
So when he does that, it's like I can see the A's. How many A's do you get going?
When you got a great laugher in the room and you make him laugh a few times, you're like, oh, I'm fucking killing it.
Murdering it, right? Yeah. They also they went on Stuff Island with Tommy and Chris, and we're talking about mushrooms and drugs and blackouts and shit. It's another good episode, so you can catch those guys on there as well. I can't. Let me pull up. He sent me something funny. Oh, he just sent me another clip of like the show that they're doing. Like another one of the punishments, if you will. And I said to him, Jacob is – so one of the things Jacob he lost one of their challenges and had to go into CVS and ask for extra small condoms. And they were like, here you go. And he's like, no, I need the extra small ones. At one point he says, he was like, do you think like the toothpick the chapstick tube, maybe I'll just take the tube off and just use that. So he sent me that. But it was, Josh Wolf sent me a video. And it was blank to begin with. And it just looked like that. And I was like, here we go, man. And it was just that. And, I said to Josh, I was like, I think Jacob is making you're growing. And he goes like, what do you mean? I was like, well, it's the first video you've ever sent me that didn't include the inside of a random man's asshole. So I think we call that personal growth. So good on your kid, man, for making it happen. So we'll get into that in a minute. But we got some other shit to get into. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time, the ticketing app that allows you to get tickets at the last minute at the best price, whether you're talking about sports or concerts or any sort of live shows. They guarantee the lowest price. So if you want to go see the Yankees in the World Series, you can go. Oh, no, you can't do that.
You can't.
There's only one
I
thing.
almost let that one slide. No, they're not in it.
Game Time can get you all sorts of tickets. They cannot get you tickets that don't exist. The Yankees in the World Series.
I mean, went out like dogs.
Oh, just feeble, as some people say.
That was fucking pathetic. I actually pulled an all-time move. I said this on one of the shows today, where I live like not above a bar, but there's a bar right next door to me, and I very rarely go. It's an Irish sports bar. For some reason I very rarely go, but I don't go very often. And I went down alone last night just to get some mozzarella sticks and watch the Yankees lose.
Were there fans?
There were fans. It wasn't like crazy raucous or distraught or anything like that. But there were fans.
There weren't fans. It's Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
You want to talk about ticketing prices? Game Time had them for like $8, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, first of all, it was Monday night or Sunday night, raining, and they're down 3-0. But I don't ever want to hear it again. And like the Mets can't talk. We didn't sell out our wild card games. Like it was a poor showing.
Really?
Yeah, poor showing for both teams. But I don't want to ever hear it again. You're in the fucking ALCS. You didn't sell out. You got tickets available for $8.
My cousin. Yeah, he's just very young, so I don't think of him as a cousin. They didn't go to the game because they might lose. And I was like, that's not a great lesson to teach him.
That is not great at all.
They're like, we don't want to take him to an elimination game. Like,
see,
they're from the city. They're New Yorkers.
I know, of course, right? I get it, but there's a whole fucking stadium's worth of people who went to Game 5 in 2004 that were like, we started this shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like even when you're down, it's why like when you leave, a game in the 8th inning when you're down 10. I totally get it, and these days I probably would, but I also think these are the moments that
I never do because it's when you miss.
Because then I'd rather leave a game up 3 or down 2 than leave down 10 because this is when the greatness happens. This is when you can say I was there.
I've told a story about a buddy who was at, I forget what game it was. I want to say it was maybe game 6 in 07. Sox Rays, like big comeback. And he left the game early to drive back home to Providence. And he got to the bar as the Sox were taking the lead or winning, whatever. I forget if it was a walk-off or what. It was obviously a walk-off, but and he just sat he went and got a case of beers and sat in his car and drank them until it had been long enough to make sense that he drove back from Boston after the game. And then he went into the bar.
Love it. Fucking love it, man. So go to Game Time to get these tickets, whether it's a packed house or a shitty showing from Yankee fans. You can download the Game Time app, go to the account tab, click create a login, and then use promo code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Before we get into it with Josh and Jacob, Feidelberg's got his little black book out.
It's a quick little story this weekend. I got home. Obviously, I did Taylor Friday morning. Went on the hunt for Taylor. Thank God she didn't show up. I was saying to Paz, I was like, if she shows up, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, it's funny going searching for her. It's not as funny finding her and being like, oh, I just got to talk to you now?
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't have anything. So, like, it was funny, too. Like, Keegs had never put together, like, the video idea of it, where, like, at one point I was like, just so you know, like, I'm 95% trying to make this video funny.
Right.
5% care about meeting Taylor Swift. She's like, that's a good balance, because I'm 100% meeting Taylor Swift.
That's right. Yeah. You need someone who's keeping it real. Yeah.
But I stayed up all night. It's actually I can't believe I fucking made it, because I woke up at 7, we left at like 8, but I went to bed at like 4:30 because I was up all night for midnight's drop. I actually because it dropped at midnight, that like my steps refreshed, so I actually know exactly how many steps I danced to that album I first listened to. It's 2,643.
That's very funny. That is very funny. You're so weird.
Yeah. But so then I go home Friday night, went home, rode on the train with Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker. Matthew was heading to his uncle's funeral, R.I.P. Hell of a man, Gary. I think his name was Gary.
Did Broderick kill him?
Gary Broderick. But Friday night just hung out, watched the Celtics. Saturday morning I'm like sitting in like our fucking kitchen area, whatever, and I'm just kind of just sitting there having a glass of water or whatever, and my mom walks up to me and she hands me a book. And she says, you should read this. I think you'd like it. It is a children's book named Frankie and Gloob. Now, if you want to pull up, I will pull up Frankie and Gloob real quick, just as the description of it. Frankie and Gloob is the perfect read for any child in your life with his or her own sad monster. This children's book about depression will help children manage their sadness together with Frankie. Okay. Now, my mom got that book for my 3-week-old nephew. He's way too young for that. Yeah. But it is like,
got it for the nephew.
I love the idea of my mom getting a 3-week-old like a book about depression. Just like, welcome to life.
Getting out ahead of it.
You're not gonna like this.
We're so happy you're here. You're gonna hate it.
Just so you know, none of this is gonna be fun. Get ready for that. The book recommends dancing.
We literally have something that we're going to refer to as a monster that lives inside of you to make you miserable.
The sad monster of Frankie and Gloob. So then I'm sitting there and I listen to it. I do read it. It's quite good. I'm sitting there reading that fucking book. My dad walks in from getting coffee, just hands me a book, says, you should read this. I think you'd like it. Anthony Bourdain, Down and Out in Paradise. I was like, yo, do you guys want to talk to me about something? Right? Like, they both understand how this ride ends. They but they have a different idea of like my level of intelligence. My dad's like, here's an adult book. My mom's like, this one has pictures. It is wild. It's Frankie and Gloob is what the book is called.
That is very, very funny.
And it was just like, I was like, this is fucking nuts that YouTube. It's like, I was like, it's fucking 9:15 in the morning. I got 2 books about depression on my lap now. And then I get up and I start walking around the house and see fucking Adam Sandler on the cover of AARP magazine.
I saw
I was
that.
like, boy, we are all dying,
That'll make you feel. That'll hurt.
Like,
Adam Sandler on the cover of AARP is like, holy shit, man, you're done. That's like That's like fucking Friends being on Nick at Night. It's like holy shit, we're basically dead.
But that was how my fucking Saturday morning started.
I will say this. I do before we get into it with Jacob and Josh. I do just have to say how happy I am and how much better my life is when the Yankees lose. Like
You don't need Frankie and Gloob, dude. No sadness monster for Kevin.
Sadness monster, man. It's a sickness. It's a disease. How much baseball affects my life. How much the Mets can make me happy. How much the Yankees losing can make me happy, and the vice versa of it. But it's like the air is a little fresher. Food tastes a little bit better. Like the water's colder. The sex is better. I feel better. I sleep better. When the Yankees lose, it's a drug. And I can't get that high anywhere else. And I'll be honest, it's starting to wear off a little bit. 21 out of 22. Eventually, it starts to be like, yeah, I've seen this show before.
Yeah, you're regular.
When they lost in 2003 against the Marlins, like I fucking 0-1 against the Diamondbacks was like, I remember I dove forward, I slid into home the way Tony Womack did, and I got like a fucking rug burn on my head. 'Cause I was like playing in the game itself because that was coming off of that should have been 5 and 6 years. It would have been, I think, and Luis Gonzalez and a broken bat.
Yeah.
And Curtin Schilling and Randy Johnson, and then they get back again with because you gotta realize it was like the fighting the tides. It was like they won, they had their three-peat, then they had 4 and 5 years, then they went back to the World Series again and lost that, then they went back in 03. So it was like they were in it every fucking year. And growing up in this area, the age that I was, they were in it every goddamn year. And then like they should have been in it in the years to come after that. Like in 04 they probably would have, you know what I mean? Like who knows?
Yeah.
So they were
I mean,
fucking
the Sox steamrolled the Cardinals, so I'm going to guess the Yankees would have
too.
too.
They would have absolutely obliterated them too. So like really you were looking at a potential for like 7 or 8. Like we were lucky that it only was 4 out of 5 and 5 total. Like it could have got so much worse. But there was a 10 to 15 year stretch where it was like all I ever heard was like, shut up, you little bitch-ass Mets fan. We're going to go to the World Series. We're going to win the World Series. And they did every fucking time. And then if it wasn't for 09, if we could just remove 09 and it was a full like 22-year drought. But still, 21 out of 22 is, I mean, every year I pop champagne. It's like the 72 Dolphins. I just clink a glass. The realm is safe. My watch has ended until next season, and all is right in the world. But that's because that's me, and I grew up where I grew up, how I grew up, when I grew up. If you are younger than me, if you were born in, let's say, like, where do you think, like, how young do you have to be for the 09 World Series to not really, like, count for you? How old are you?
I was born in 99. And 09, I was 10.
10.
So
like,
that's still, I remember it. And I remember it.
So
yeah.
I would say you have to be
If you're 2000
12 years old to really like appreciate a World Series.
Yeah, I think that's how old I was when the Pats won the Super Bowl.
Because you're like you're in 6th grade, you know what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you're like 8, 9, 10 years old, you still have like a fucking bedtime. You know, Frank the Tank was getting sent to bed in '86. You know, so you know if you're anything, so that would make you born in like the late '90s, early 2000s. If you're one of those people, you shouldn't even give a fuck about the Yankees. Like it shouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah,
they're just another team. They just lose. It's what they do. They make the playoffs a lot and they lose. And they're not what they once were. I mean, the arguments I had from fans, one fan said, at least the team that eliminated us was higher ranked than us. I said, how far have we fallen?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
How far have we fallen?
Yeah, I liked your argument with the first of all, I remember I tweeted something like the Yankees going out like dogs, and someone was like, they put up as much of a fight as the Red Sox did in the postseason this year. I was like, yeah, you're right.
Right.
The Red Sox were not in the postseason.
Yeah.
Zero.
The
but
Mets
I like
are
yours
just as
where it
much
was
of an
like,
embarrassment.
where like it was you had tweeted about the video of them outside Yankee Stadium after winning the DS, and you were like, you know, it's dead. If this is how you celebrate a DS,
Can't have it both ways.
But then someone, I forget exactly what it was. Someone had a reply to you that you quote tweeted, and it was a perfect response. and I don't remember it, so I can't really do
fuck,
anything
what
about
was it?
it.
Because I have.
You know,
I will say
I
this.
favorited it. I favorited
I
it.
have perfected my craft when it comes to this. And every little angle you think you're coming at, it's like, I've thought about it. I've heard it before. I've heard the arguments. I know that the Mets are bad. I know that this and that and the other thing that you think are mitigating the circumstances. It doesn't. It hasn't. It's not. It's which one? Which one?
Here, I have a favorite. Let me scroll a little bit.
Because when they celebrated the DS, I am okay with fans that go bananas. The Knicks fans celebrate regular season wins by climbing up the fucking poles.
That might have been it right there.
And
It
good
might have
for
been
you.
Knicks stuff.
Yeah, and when I included the Knicks fans in it,
Yeah.
I did that as an absolute. And I was, it's just like the Knicks, because you're allowed to celebrate that way.
Yeah, that's it.
What did I say?
Someone said, "Nah, this looks awesome." You said, "It is awesome." Knicks fans do it all the time.
I know that one was like, I know that was poison in their mouths. It's like, yes, you can flip over cars and climb up poles for the American League Divisional Series. That's fine. But then don't turn around and act like you are some high and mighty better than all other franchises, because you're just in the same boat as all of us. Tommy, somebody quoted Tommy, and I genuinely, for a second, because you know how Tommy flip-flops?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if he was talking about making fun of the Mets or the Yankees. And that is when you've reached the absolute, like, you're at the bottom. It's like, where is it? I tweeted so much about this. I fucking love it. It was just like, I will never get tired of making fun of this pathetic franchise and how they always fall short. And I was like, is that about the...
Rooting against this franchise and watching them embarrass themselves time and time again is incredible.
Which team is that? Is that the New York Mets or the New York Yankees? And the fact that that's even a question is spectacular.
Yeah.
That was about the Mets that night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you could say that about the Yankees too.
Yeah.
You could say watching them year in and year out and make no changes and continue to just bomb against the Astros and never do anything. It's like which one is it? You're all just in the same boat with me. But again, I will act this way. Me and all my generation. But if you're younger, like, just don't even
Who
bother.
cares?
Who
Yeah.
fucking cares, man?
I mean, I've reached that level with the Yankees. Like, I don't.
I mean, you guys definitely. You not only like surpassed them, but you went through them.
Yeah.
It's like if I ever. If
I
the Mets ever
do,
beat
like-
the Yankees in the Subway Series, I'd be like, okay, I'm done with you guys.
Right.
We're fucking. It's over.
It was honestly the great inspiration to go downstairs last night was the mozzarella sticks. And then I was out of beers, and I wanted some mozzarella sticks. I was like, fuck, I'll go downstairs. And I guess I'll happen to watch some Yankees lose, too.
And
But
then on top of it all, blaming the roof for being open Game 2. Talking about how Aaron Judge's fly ball that didn't leave the park was hit harder than the guy on the Astros who did hit a home run. And then the icing on the cake, using the 2004 Red Sox as motivation for the New York Yankees to win a ball game is the worst example of managing I've ever seen in my life.
like,
We're gonna
there are
show
guys
you-
who are on this team who are on that team. Like, what the fuck, dude?
You're gonna show.
Like, I'm sure
especially-
Posada's still there, right?
You're gonna show them this. If you show videos like this, and I mean they called Big Papi, they FaceTimed Big Papi. Can you imagine that?
Really?
Like, so David, what was it about it? Like, you were down 3-0. Like, what? How did you know? What gave you motivations? Like, well, the Yankees always fucking choke. So it's like, hang up the phone. Put it down. Put it down. He didn't say anything. That was a joke. Like, that is if you're showing people those kind of things, you're trying to like manifest something.
Yeah.
Right? So if you believe in all that, then you've got to believe that showing a video of the Yankees with their heads down, being like, we just got eliminated. What are we doing, Aaron? Get the fuck. I actually hope that
this is our franchise's great shame.
Yeah.
Let's watch
Let's
them
go
be inspired,
play.
everybody.
Let's go. Yeah. I mean, one of the most pathetic.
Poppy was like, "Oh, we fucking drank Mama Juana juice. That's what did it." Mama Juana. I've had that before.
That is an
Doesn't get your dick as
all-time-
hard as you think it would.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't really work. No.
Wasn't that the stuff you asked Jack to go pick up, and it turned out like, or she thought it was weed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever get it?
No, she sent back like, what weed do you want?
Yeah.
But,
I
like-
was such a homie too. I sent back like a whole list.
She was still an intern at that point, I think. That was great.
So anyway, fuck the Yankees forever and always. You're pathetic, and I love it. I finish every October happy. Every time. It might be sad and pathetic. I get all that. The Mets lose. All I have is the Yankees losing. But the feeling that I get physiologically is like winning a World Series. So you might be mad about it. You might not like it. But I celebrate every October. So I'm in the middle of a dynasty, baby. All right, let's get into 1 Minute Man before we get into Jake and Josh. 1 Minute Man today is brought to you by Whistle Pig Whiskey. And not just any Whistle Pig. Not just the piggyback. Not just the age 6 years. We're talking the KFC Radio 10-year anniversary with my pig right here. Yeah. My hog, Feidelberg.
Big fat hog, take me down to market.
That'll do, pig. That'll do, pig. You see it right here. You can see we got the shoulder sticker right there. We've got our own single barrel, age 6 year piggyback Whistle Pig. We went and we did the tasting. He likes it smoky. I like it spicy, or the other way around. I don't know.
I like it smoky.
You like it smoky?
I know I like it smoky. I don't know smoky when I taste it, but I know what I like when I taste it.
I like it spicy. It's like it's like the all-time great duos. It's Feidelberg and Clancy. It's peanut butter and jelly. It's fucking smoky
Hugh
and spicy.
Honey and Vic Vinegar, baby.
Hugh Honey and Vic Vinegar. And it's like our Whistle Pig whiskey. It's going to be available on 11/11. Mark it down on your
Make a wish.
Make it down. Yeah, I mean, it's the perfect drop. 11/11. It's easy to remember. It's lucky. It's the start of Sad Boy season. It's the start of the holidays. You want your warm whiskey. It's going to be available at your local retailers. It's definitely going to be available online, so you can just order your bottle. It's our 10-year anniversary in the 6-year whiskey bottle. It's piggyback. It's everything that we've been. I think that like the domino meme, you know?
Yeah.
Like we were born. We got our own whiskey.
Yeah.
Everything in between has been building towards this moment. Who we are as guys, how we drink, how we partied, what we enjoy, how our podcast went, how our careers went. Everything is in this bottle right here. So if you are a fan of good whiskey, and if you're a fan of a good podcast, if you're a fan of both of them, get it as soon as you can once it drops. It is, you know what? Get 2 bottles, though. You can get just like the regular piggyback to drink. I know. I mean, I want people to keep it as like a collector item too. You got to get like 2 bottles. I want you to taste the smoky and spicy.
You gotta taste the
But this is So crack it and drink it, and fuck it, drink it.
Drink it.
It's
it.
not- yeah,
it's like
we're not
sneakers.
those
They're
guys.
made to be drank.
Exactly.
Made to be drank.
Whiskey
Save the
is
bottle
bottled
if you
to be
care
drank.
for.
Yeah.
If you care for it, but fucking crack it. Do not fucking save our bottles. Do not sell our bottles on the secondary market.
Drink our
our fucking shit, dog.
Open that up, and then maybe it can be your jar afterwards.
Yeah.
Use your empty KFC Radio whiskey, Whistle Pig whiskey as your jar for whatever you may need to put $1 in for. So stay tuned for more on how and when you can buy it, but it is coming. Smoky and spicy KFC Radio edition. We will begin with Alec Baldwin with what I think might legitimately be the worst PR gaffe of all time.
I mean,
I
think it's the best.
We did the
strong disagree.
We did the 9/11. We did the 9/11 diner menu. Did you know about American Apparel and the Challenger? This is an all-timer.
No, I don't think so.
Some intern at American Apparel on their Tumblr, back in the Tumblr days, was posting about fireworks and posted a picture of the Challenger explosion.
Shut up.
Hashtag smoke, hashtag clouds, hashtag fireworks.
Hashtag
with
spicy.
with that. But to be fair, if you click the other one, the black, click the black one. If you didn't know, you wouldn't know.
No idea. I wouldn't think it was fireworks.
I wouldn't think it was fireworks, but I also wouldn't. If you were young and you saw that, you'd be like, I don't know what the fuck that is. It's like a smoke
that's
monster.
like when I forget what social media person we were ever at war with, but like they posted a gif of like a house exploding that like a cop happened to die in or something like that, and we were like crushing him, like you celebrate dead cops, like. No, I fucking gift explosion, and that's what right.
but still, nonetheless, all time, like you purposely posted the Challenger explosion. But this one, Alec Baldwin posts a picture of Halyna Hutchins, who was the cinematographer that he shot and killed, and he posted a picture of her behind the camera doing her thing on set, and the caption just said, 1 year ago today, ...
Yeah, that's a fucking watch your mouth in the comment section. or it'll be 1 year ago for you. Or 1 year to
1 year ago.
Catch me in 2023 with 1 year ago for you, fucking.
Yeah.
Get a little dickhead in the comments.
The top
Bro,
comment
like-
is, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this. It's got like 10,000 likes. Like, I just don't
It
know
is.
what the fuck you're
Like,
trying to
one
do
year ago
here,
today,
dude.
I snuffed the life out of this woman.
I mean,
It is, and like I
look at
actually,
that. I'm not exactly sure how to react to this post. 8,000 likes. I mean, that is brutal, man.
I very much feel for Alec Baldwin in this. Like, I think he got handed a gun that was loaded that he didn't know. I didn't know they used real guns on set. Like,
I know that too.
and
I
then-
think he was being an asshole about it too, though. I think he was being reckless with the gun.
Really, but
I
even
don't-
like
I
I mean,
don't
like, who cares? Like,
Agreed.
I'm gonna go shoot it at people. I can be
Yeah.
reckless with it here. Who
Right.
gives a fuck? Like,
Right.
my job in 5 minutes is
Yeah.
to hold it at someone's head and fucking pull a trigger.
Totally agree.
Like, what?
Totally
Who
agree.
cares if I'm fucking around with it right now?
Right.
You're supposed. You're not supposed to give me a loaded goddamn gun.
Right. Absolutely.
And I think I'm sure that's outrageously traumatic, accidentally killing a person.
For sure.
So I do feel for him, but you don't make it easy when you're throwing up these posts. Like, bro,
If
that's,
that was you, because
bro, that's like something like fucking Mick Huya should post on fucking after he killed Bin Laden.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. We can't. Like, this is the
What's his
anniversary.
name? Rob
of-
O'Neill. Rob O'Neill.
Yeah. Like literally, you post death anniversaries of the bad guys.
Yeah.
Not the people who tragically died accidentally. I think his problem was he was like, I didn't pull the trigger and this, that, and the other thing. Like, I think if that was me from Jump Street, I would have just been like, I'm absolutely traumatized. I accidentally killed somebody. Like, I did pull the trigger. I was like, I don't know. I wasn't handling it properly. I guess you can't say that because you open yourself up to legal troubles, especially because he has so many political, like, people who hate him. Yeah. But, like, I think I just would have been from the jump, like, I'm so sorry.
Like,
They gave me the loaded gun. Like, I don't
yeah,
know what the fuck
dude,
to
like,
do.
you don't give me loaded guns.
Right.
I'm on a movie set. Why was not at war? Why'd you give me a loaded gun, dude?
Once he started to be like, well, I didn't pull the trigger, and it was this and it was that, it's like, well, now you sound defensive, and that kind of sounds weird. I would have just been like, oh my god, and I definitely wouldn't have posted her fucking anniversary shot. So that person tragically is gone. We also have to start planning the services for Tom Brady, who is wasting away physically, and I'm starting to believe the Latina witches. He looks like a skeleton, John. I'm starting to believe the Latina witches are real. He looks unhealthy.
Let me see
He's
a picture
like,
of that. I didn't know.
he looks like all gaunt and shit. It was where was the picture of him that was like, holy shit, he looked like actually bad. I can't remember where I saw it.
The thing, and I started a fake rumor yesterday that I was joking about the Ben Volin stuff, and I said I had a DM, very real and very legit. Which I mean, how much more clear can I be?
I know.
Like, very real and very legit source that Tom Brady's thinking about coming back to New England. Which the Pats don't have the cap room for it and all that shit. I actually think it's a pretty good idea because he's not playing bad. If you watch the game yesterday, he went like 39 to 52 for 300 and some yards.
No touchdowns, all right?
No touchdowns though.
Well, no touchdowns at all.
But-
They didn't score touchdowns.
But then also like Mike Evans dropped a 70-yard pass. Like Tom Brady very easily could have gone for 400 yesterday.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
if it is, I am joking.
This is a buy low,
I
certainly a buy low situation.
I understand that he can't come back and all that.
Yeah.
I would take Tom Brady back in a fucking heartbeat for one more run because this team's a good team.
Yeah.
If you're deciding between Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi,
Bro.
maybe you have an issue with the quarterback position.
He looks like Chris
I mean,
Herron.
this is a pretty outrageous picture. Chris Herron looks like a rock star.
Well, I mean, when Chris Herron was fucking a drug addict. I mean, he looks like Christian Bale when he was playing fucking.
I think this is like a pretty normal picture, to be honest.
Oh,
I think it's
man.
pretty weirdly shaded and stuff like that. But
He is.
I would take Tom Brady back on the New England Patriots right
Bro,
fucking now.
You're telling me
I mean,
that, you're telling me that looks good?
I'm not saying he looks fantastic, but like I don't think I'm not like that person sickly. I disagree. Again, I'm not like Tom Brady's looked better before.
Yeah.
But I don't see that. I'm not. It's like, well, that's a jarring picture.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, it's a shame. It seems like the fucking Buccaneers suck. They average 60 yards rushing per game. They have 0 rushes over 20 yards. They are on the season, by the way, 0 rushes over 20 yards on the fucking season.
Yikes.
So they're not a very good team. And that's that. The New England Patriots are a very good team and could use a quarterback potentially. Maybe we'll see.
Could you imagine though if this does continue and it's like you unretired and blew up everything and then like your team just sucks?
Yeah.
It's like I should have just fucking stayed retired.
It
dude.
is.
Holy shit.
It is very
That was
unfortunate.
not good.
I know it's sad. It is sad to see, but again, I'm obviously far from a professional quarterback evaluator. I did not think he looked bad yesterday. The teams looked like they should. I actually did watch 90% of the game. I wasn't like, Jesus, Tom doesn't have it left at all. I saw a guy playing pretty solid quarterback position with nothing else going on.
A little switch up of how we usually do one man to man. I'm going to pose a question to you this time.
Okay.
Would you rather watch a stream with Frank Fleming or Tico Texas?
I have Frank Fleming. But I heard some rumors about some things that happened on the stream and post stream today, this weekend. But I have not seen any clips of Tico.
Tico Texas came through like a hurricane and just eradicated the Yankee fans in Barstool Sports.
It is, yeah. I don't have a fucking death wish.
It was just, it was the most outrageous display. I mean, she popped champagne. She was referring to them as the asteroids at one point. She poured champagne all over her own face. It was.
She Chris Bossed it.
It was. But at one point, this is my favorite Tico Texas moment ever. Got Frank the Tank to start a "Let's Go Yankees" chant. That's how much she was getting under people's skin. Frank, it was crazy. It was like Stream-mageddon. It was. Frank was watching the Dolphins game.
Okay.
Tico's watching the Astros and the Yankees. Doug somehow got in the mix and was like yelling at people. He was like, he was getting feisty with it. And Tico was just like fucking trolling everybody left and right. And all of a sudden Frank's like, you worry about here we go, Yankees. And you could see him like mid-clap be like, oh, wait a minute, I can't do that actually. And I was like, yeah, you fucking fraudulent asshole.
I'm gonna speak obviously only for myself. And I haven't been put through this fire ever. I've watched streams with the team I'm playing, but I've never watched it with a person to the effect.
Wait, watch this. It's just madness.
Look at that. And
This is my nightmare, bro.
when do I get one of my teams to win? When? It's T-Mobile. He's showing every 5 minutes.
What is happening?
Right? It's like a fever dream. It's like, what is even fucking
It looks like fucking
happening
daycare.
Yeah. It's the romper room, dude. It's the fucking romper room. I think this is it.
This is the game you have to win. No, you worry about this game.
Watch Tommy in this too.
Here we go. Yeah. Here we go.
I love the chaos. Tico, I mean, you gotta hand it to her. Like, she just came through. Category 5 hurricane. Knocked them all out.
Are Phillies fans gonna have to do fucking streams?
Yeah.
When do they? Yeah, when do they fucking start?
We got a lot of Phillies fans in this office. I haven't seen anyone on a stream for that yet.
I think I saw Gaz tweet today. The blockhead versus Tico Texas is going to be all time.
I mean, how could you?
Sorry,
not,
the general.
How
He
could
said
you,
general.
Bro, if I wasn't on these streams, as they're making it to the World Series, like I would. How did they not been on the stream?
Yeah,
I would be
through DS through a CS, right?
Yes.
No streams.
Yes,
That's pretty
fucking
loco.
Absolutely bananas.
What I will say is this: that like, I've never had to go through a stream with someone who's just a
not a real human.
Let's call it a mental assassin like Frank or Tico, and I don't know how you guys let it get to you. I see it being loud and annoying, but I think and this could be famous last words, and one day I'll have to do it. But like, I don't think you could rattle me.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I did it. I mean, I eventually just left, but like the first game and the first several innings of other games, like I just sit there, but everybody takes the bait, and it drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah,
like they think like.
Well, that is the unfair situation of
Yes.
when you have a mental assassin like Tico and Frank on the stream, where like. If once you fire back, for some reason, everyone fucking who follows Barstool Sports is a little pussy now. It's like, you can't talk to them like that.
Right.
And it's like
Shut
up, I'm making fun of Frank.
They stepped into the fucking arena, pick a fight, you punch back, and it's like you can't hit them.
Yeah, it is
that
a little
about?
unfair that seems to happen. And again, I blame fucking Stewies. I think you guys are little pussies now.
Yeah, when you think about the drama, it's like it was started by
Hashtag not my Barstool came full circle.
big
Right.
time.
Like-
It's like started by a former employee, like continued by a current employee, and all of our fans are the ones like caught making it a big scene.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Yeah, right.
Like shit happens on the stream, man. Like what the fuck are we doing here?
Just speaking
So-
strictly of the stream.
Just
But
the
it's
stream. Anything else outside the stream is
outside the stream. But the stream itself, I have not seen a single issue with anything I've seen happen on the stream at all this whole time. But I've seen people be little fucking bitches about it. Oh, don't be mean to them. Shut the fuck up. It's the CS, baby.
Seriously. Grow a sack. Last topic. This one's a doozy. So the Wisconsin women's volleyball team, they won the Big Ten championship.
Okay.
And then to celebrate, they popped in the locker room, and they popped the tops off, and they just took a bunch of nudes.
Fucking right?
Right?
Dude.
Now, usually this is reserved for hockey players.
Wait, they just fucking... How nude we doing? We doing like fucking Facebook nude? We doing fucking...
How nude did we get?
Fucking lips out.
Do we know? Yeah, was it
From what I heard, from what people told me, it was started with this, and
some,
then
like, some nips and some
and
flashing.
then the rest of them that like people were like selling online. It was a little bit.
Selling's a little much, but you know, I mean, this is like, I feel like Mac right now. Like, where? What website?
Yeah.
this is like a Dropbox that like people are selling
videos,
$5.
Yo, if you're throwing news on a Dropbox, dude, I put podcast clips on Dropbox.
UW Good Stuff is the name of the fucking. Now it got leaked, and that's fucking a federal crime, and that's horrible for those girls. 36 files though, and if you're looking at some of the thumbnails, it looks like there's some dancing and some things going on. I don't know what, but I think now there's like a criminal investigation as to who, I guess, leaked them. We kind of had like a fappening situation.
I don't know how much. So we've only seen like really kind of a blurred shot of one. I wouldn't call that nudes. That looks like
Nips,
maybe. This is just. I think I'm taking back the word nudes here. I think this is post game locker room shenanigans. You're just naked during them.
This is very hockey game. This is very hockey-esque. Yeah. It's just coming from girls. And then when like a hockey locker room,
that's
photos leak,
everyone in
like,
Wisconsin, every girl in Wisconsin's a hockey player. Yeah. Like Wisconsin women are just hockey bros.
Yeah, I think this was like a lot of girls in their underwear with their tits out.
Yeah,
but then they went out to their next game after the Big Ten championship. I think they're like in the tournament now, and they fucking won. So I hope that this is like the Cinderella run for like the new chicks of Wisconsin.
I am very much.
Yeah, look, we're just dancing in our underwear.
Yeah, dude, that's just
come
fucking.
On, that's just good old fun.
That's just literally doing a replay. Like that's just good
old
fun.
fun.
I did this fucking shit.
Yeah,
that is no. I stand with the UW woman. I hope the culprit gets kidnapped. Not kidnapped, found.
Maybe kidnapped
I don't know.
Too.
Kidnap him. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
No skin off my teeth. Kidnap him. Put him in a sack. Beat him. What do I fucking care?
One last one. This is a serious one, and I'm only going to talk about it here because I'm afraid of what happens on the internet. Elnaz Rabaki is her name. She is the Iranian rock climber who.
Where you texted me about this? Where did she compete?
I don't know, some fucking international rock climbing thing.
Okay.
Physically where?
I was thinking. No. I don't mean. I just mean like I thought it was like the Olympics and that. I was missing something.
No. I think it's like the Olympics for rock climbing.
Okay.
It's like their big thing. I want to say it was.
Gotta imagine that brings a big crowd.
Yeah. Well, she went out there and she climbed. She competed without wearing her hijab, and I think her story was like, I was told at the last minute I had to compete at a different time, and I didn't have it on me. But what it really was is like, fuck you to the Iranian government, who was like,
bro. By the way, sneaking this in here, did you see the Iranian soccer team recently? Because of these hijab protests, the men's soccer team, like during the anthem beforehand, all covered the flag.
Fuck yeah, fuck Iran.
I don't understand how they're still alive.
So this girl, they immediately kidnapped her brother. They took away.
So pissed if I was him.
So mad. I'd be like, I don't fucking. You go get them. Go get her. I'm not the one who told her not to wear her hijab.
Come on, man.
Yeah, just put on the fucking scarf.
You gonna slow you down that much?
So she got.
He's getting tortured like a motherfucker.
Big time, bro. And they sent
her
to
unfair.
prison.
I'm gonna say it. That's unfair.
That's not fair.
That's an unfair.
Pretty unfair to her too. I think she's in a prison in Tehran right now, and I think it's not one of the nice ones. And
not one of the white collar ones.
No, it's not one of those nice ones. And there was a post on her Instagram that was like absolutely a forced like confession where she was like, "It was all a misunderstanding. I'm not protesting. Like everybody wear your hijab and listen to the government." And
is it hijab or hijab? Because me and Kevin are in a real stalemate right now.
I think it's but hijab
I say
to me
hijab.
sounds like we're trying. I don't know. It's your hijab. It's your. I'm just saying it. It's your hijab. Your hijab. Hijab.
Hijab.
It's your hijab.
Oh, it is hijab.
It's
Fuck
your
yeah.
hijab. So
Bang,
she
bang,
didn't wear
bang, bang.
her hijab. Her hijab. But so this girl who has been posting about it, who like I learned all this information from.
Yeah, that was a wild text from you. I don't get a lot of texts from Kevin's like, you see what's going on in Iran right now? I was like, what, dude?
All of her videos now are demonetized and she's shadow banned and all that shit. Which is like, what, you can't talk bad about Iran?
Right.
Iran's the bad guys.
Yeah.
They're the bad guys.
Well, what's next? Russia?
Come on. So fuck Iran, but don't throw me in prison. All right, let's get
Dude,
into it.
I ever tell you about that? Do you remember that? When, like, I had a bit going, like, early Barstool days at Milton, like, there was a news article that ISIS got Twitter. And I was like, I'm just going to tweet ISIS every day. And it was like, fuck you guys, you losers. And I would just blog about my tweets at ISIS.
And you did it?
And I did. Yeah, no, I did. Yeah. I mean, not for an exceptionally long period of
Because
time.
I do remember when they were on Twitter. And I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck is going on?
And I was
here?
like, I'm just going to tweet. I'm a troll. And it wasn't even like trolling. It was just like, fuck
you
you
guys, you
I
suck.
disagree with what you stand for.
I mean, are they still on it now?
I'd imagine.
Fuck ISIS. I think we can definitively say fuck ISIS and not get in trouble for that one. Who knows though? All right, Josh Wolf and his son Jacob Wolf are on the show. It's brought to you by Simply Safe. If you thought about protecting your home with security, but have been waiting for the right time, right now is the time to do it. Listen up. You get 40% off of Simply Safe's award-winning home security system. When I had a house, I used Simply Safe. Never once had anybody break in. So that's a 100% success rate if you ask me.
Pretty tough to beat those statistics.
Nobody was fucking with my home except Mother Nature.
Ain't nobody fucking with my clit.
So if you want to protect your family from burglary, if you want to protect it from fire, from the elements, whatever, Simply Safe has you covered. They blanket your home in protection with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door, HD security cameras inside and outside, even have hazard sensors that can instantly detect the fires, the floods, the other threats to your home that aren't just people. The monitoring experts use proprietary advanced response technology, the ART, to visually confirm when a break-in is real. So it's like if somebody breaks a window like playing baseball, they know it's not like a real break-in. They don't send the police to your house. It's all very high-tech stuff. Don't miss out on the chance. You get all this for 40% off when you go to simplysafe.com/KFC radio today. That's SIMPLI safe.com/KFC radio today. There's no safe like Simply Safe. All right, let's let it rip. It's KFC radio. We got the Wolf Boys here. We got Josh and Jacob Wolf. This has got to be, this is definitely our first father-son thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if we've ever done any family thing.
We had
like,
Wahlberg and his kid in.
Yeah. No, this is. But I mean, knowing you for so long, I've been hearing stories. Oh, the whole world's been hearing stories about you for so long.
Everybody knows
and
everything about me already. So,
but even just like personally in talking, we've heard about you, and now like, so how old are you now?
25.
25. All right, so yeah, you're even a little older than I thought.
Dude, I remember the clip of you being like, I think maybe the first time we talked, and then I definitely saw the clip later, but like you telling a story of like being surprised to see him in the weed store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like, that must have been.
Yeah.
I mean, that was in what, 7 years ago?
Yeah, I was gonna say even those are getting old now. Like
that was seeing him in the weed store though was like one of those moments when I walked in, I was like, "What the fuck?" But when I walked up, I was like, "Yeah, he knows where to find good weed."
Yeah. I raised him well.
That's right.
Well,
Absolutely.
Our boy Nick, he's upstairs right now. I said, oh, by the way, like his son Jacob's coming too, and he goes, "Is that the one who he lost his toes?" And Josh was, but it's like everybody's got some fucking story about whether you lose your toes or buying your weed or whatever it may be.
I did almost lose 3 toes when I was 18 also, like 10 days before my 19th birthday, on the job. Yeah, it was a nuts story.
Was that ever weird for you? Were you ever like, like stop fucking telling stories, or like
I mean,
you had to tell that one or whatever?
I mean, there's a couple. There was one for a long time that I didn't like. And it
Tell him which one.
And it was the iCloud story about me sending dick pics and not knowing my iCloud sharing was on.
Yeah.
And I set up their iCloud, and then my parents had my dick pics, which was not really my best move.
brother.
Yo,
If I gotta be so honest with you,
it was terrible to find them in bed, scrolling through. Like
I was gonna say, yeah, it's probably worse for them, bro.
I mean, did you immediately know what it was? Were you like,
well, did I know it was a dick?
well, like, I think you knew. I don't know how mangled it is.
I mean, he did lose his toes.
It doesn't
Maybe
look
he
like his toes. No, honestly, dude. At first, the first thing I thought was, "That's not my dick."
You know, that's a funny question. We asked that on ATI, which we'll do in a little bit. If you got sent a picture of like just a dick, no context of the room or anything, would you know it's your dick? And I think most people would.
For a couple of reasons. One, it's on my iPad, and I would have known if I had
you put
taken
your dick on your
right. So I know right away.
Well, you missed the dick pic era, right? Like,
yeah,
have you sent dick
entirely.
pics?
No, I missed him.
he definitely missed that.
I've been told so many times with the 1 Minute Man thing that I'm kind of like the bridge between
You
old
are.
and young. So I've been thinking a lot about how you can define like, boom, you're from this generation, that generation. And I think there's a couple things, but dick pics are one of them. Where it's like if you were this age, you didn't do it, and if you're this age, you're like, yeah, I fired off 10 by the time I was in 4th grade.
You know what the other one is? I'll still ask him questions like, where do you think this is? And he's like, just Google it, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm still speaking out loud questions.
Yeah.
And he's like,
You know what I think
your fucking phone out.
Is he'll just tell me how to get somewhere. And he'll
Take
give
2
me,
lefts
he'll
or
give
right.
me an address,
Yeah.
and he'll give me directions.
I do
I'm
that
like,
too.
no,
That's
I
another
don't.
one.
You gave me the address.
That's the end of that conversation. I don't need also turn by turn directions. You sent the address. That's all I need. Don't go any further.
Even also on top of it though, like I put every address into my GPS just because of traffic or whatever.
Yeah,
like I want to
100%.
know the best way. And I think there's another generation of like, I know how to get there. I don't need to fucking, you know what I mean?
My
And then I
wife-
was thinking about it. So I grew up on MapQuest, right?
Yeah.
But then so before that though was just fucking maps.
Yeah, they dropped Quest.
That's crazy.
I drove around.
He's
I
from that
drove
generation
around
too.
in
Hold
LA
on.
when I
You're
got
so old, dude. Yo, you know what sucks for you? Your dad's gonna be dead soon because he is so old. And when I saw you in that video with your old man muscles, I was like, you're in shape. You look like Vince McMahon though, bro. You got that old man body now.
I was gonna say Stallone.
Yeah.
I was like, look at Stallone getting up.
Start planning a funeral, man. This guy's, I don't care how in shape he is, he's dead soon.
I feel that way a lot.
Yeah, what gave it away? The awkwardly pale skin, or because that's usually my giveaway.
First of all, I can't even argue that shit anymore. I do. They're like, here's what I learned from competing physically against him. There's in shape for a 50-year-old,
Right.
and then there's being 25.
Yeah. You
know
can
what
be
I mean?
out of shape 25-year-olds probably beaten in shape. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Right. Right.
So we on the show also we boxed. So the show is called Family Tussle. He and I compete against each other. We challenge each other to different things, and then the loser has to do an embarrassing punishment, right? And so one of the things we did, we boxed. And when I tell you I trained,
He told me repeatedly for, I'm going to say 4 months, yo, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life, but come time we start boxing. And I was like, dude, I'm not even going to work out. I might go play some pickup basketball for some cardio. And I did the month leading into it. I played like 2 or 3 weekends, just like 1 or 2 days for 4 hours.
Just
and I was like,
just get your breathing up.
Just
But
to get your breathing
that's
up.
actually one thing I would have bet on you. Like I think, and maybe you've
I'm gonna
proven
tell
it
you right
wrong.
now.
I would have thought that like in shape dad is still gonna beat up the son no matter.
I mean,
Your dad.
Well, there's
Your dad will fuck you up.
might fucking kill
Your dad will. His dad. No shade to you. His dad will fucking kill like everybody.
No,
His dad's crazy.
So in our gym, the gym at their house, there's a heavy bag, and like sometimes we'll end up like we try and separate our workouts because it's a home gym, right?
Yeah.
But like, we try and separate our workouts and space it out so we're in there alone. But sometimes we'll overlap. And there was one time where I was like catching the end of his workout. I was just home for the weekend. We don't live together. I was just home for the weekend.
Just to clarify.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Just to clarify.
And it was like a overlap while he was like doing like a last sweat for like hitting the bag to kind of get the last sweat out, and I was just sitting there like listening to the bangs. And I was like, dude, thank God you didn't hit me. Like, when I was younger, if you were a dad who would like beat me, I'd be fucking, I don't know, maybe I'd be a lot tougher now. Or I'd be fucking dead. One or the other.
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't be crying at commercials. You pussy.
True. Bro, I cried at a song this weekend. So.
Really? Which one?
What song?
I was at I went
This is
to,
valid though.
I went to Liverpool, the soccer game. And
Oh
then-
my God.
And then during YNWA at the end, I teared up a little.
Yeah, you know what? That's valid.
All right.
That's valid. That's valid.
Can I tell you, when I was like 8, maybe 9, there was this. Can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. There was this Barry Manilow song that used to make me cry.
Bro, like I said, almost dead. You're crying to Barry Manilow songs. You are
My
ancient,
brother
homie.
used to play it in his room through the wall.
Just to make you cry?
Yeah. He'd be like, "Are you listening, you pussy?"
Thank God.
How much older is he?
He's 4 years older.
That's the same thing with me.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds about right.
Yeah. There's weird. 4 years now means nothing.
Yeah.
4 years hasn't meant for a long time now. But 4 years when it's like 12 and 16.
That's a
or
huge
like
difference.
11 and 15 was wild. You know, I'm
12
still like
and 16 is wild too.
Yeah, it's like I'm like a little boy and you're sending dick pics. You know what I mean? Like,
But the other difference is 12 and 16. 12 might start be getting some testosterone.
Yeah.
So feeling a little froggy.
Yeah.
And 16 has a ton of testosterone.
For sure.
And is willing
Bro, you know
to.
what we used to do?
And it's like, test me. And the 16-year-old says, test me. Test me. I can't wait to let some of this out.
We had one set of boxing gloves. So we would
You got one glove each?
Yeah,
one
you each
glove
put one on.
each. And I was so young that I was still stupid and not understanding like he's not gonna punch with this hand. He's only gonna. So I think he took the left and I took the right.
Yeah.
And I would just throw haymakers and he would just like. And just like over and over and over again. I probably had CTE from just like little jabs.
Did you get scared a lot growing up?
By him? Or
Yeah.
just like in general.
Yeah, I had 3 older brothers, and they loved.
That's a lot. Yeah, because they're
loved
torturing you.
Yeah. It was like I jazz hand when I get scared now because they scared me so much.
Yeah.
But they would
You do something else also, though.
Yeah, I make this noise.
Oh no!
Don't leave that part out. You can't just go around with just the jazz hands.
yeah.
Those 3 older brothers either creates a comedian or Rob Gronkowski. That's right. A comedian goes, ah! Or Rob Gronkowski.
And I'll tell you what, both pretty successful, man. Both pretty good.
Both not bad.
Right.
Not bad.
But there's a big difference.
But there's a pretty big difference.
Hey, you got no back problems,
But-
or maybe you do. I don't know.
he
So, like,
definitely
at
got
my
back
age.
problems,
Come on, dude. I will tell you the difference is I didn't have 3 Gronks above me.
Right. Yeah.
I had 3 mental torturers.
Right.
So like you
Well,
make
yeah,
comedian. That's right.
you're either sharpened physically or mentally. So yeah.
Here's the
But
deal,
also
man.
athletes. They were athletes.
They were, but not like
Not
they
the
were
Gronks.
athletes.
The Gronks.
Gronks.
Have you ever been
Those guys are like-
around? Like I haven't really had the pleasure of it, but a lot of guys here at Barstool have done like after parties or like PR events or whatever. Like when you get the Gronks together, it's like. It's like Captain Planet. Like you can't have them all in the same room where they all like all their power like.
We
We
did.
had
Did you?
we had
Yeah.
Gronk. Okay, so I organized. Remember when I organized that roast of David Ortiz in Boston?
Yes.
And so the dais was crazy. It was Burr, Anthony Mackie, Adam Ray, me, Gronk,
Tiana.
Pedroia, Sarah Tiana, Lenny Clark.
It was.
It was crazy,
Yeah.
right? Gronk was the only, and he was funny, but he was the only one. He was like, "Yeah, I don't want you to write for me."
Oh boy.
He was like, "My brothers and I, we got it."
Oh boy.
Now, can I interrupt real quick? My favorite thing that Gronk's ever done is when he was asked if he wrote his book, he said, "I've read it." So that's what we're working with here. I read it.
Now,
That's amazing.
the roast part was okay, but he tried something off the cuff off the top because I laid into him kind of hard.
Everybody laid into him.
Gronk?
Yeah,
Okay.
into Gronk.
Yeah.
You know, you're up there, so
like, you big
people are
retard.
taking aim. Yeah. It was like,
if you sit on stage, it is you
Fair
are
game.
Yeah, it's fair game.
for
You
sure,
cannot.
for sure.
So So he gets up here and he's like, and Josh Wolf is up here talking shit. And now he's just riffing, you know?
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, Josh, hey, you know what a Cleveland Steamer is? Josh, you know what a Cleveland Steamer is? I go, yeah, I know what it is. He goes, let me tell you what it is. I go, no, I know what it is. And he goes, a Cleveland Steamer is what I did to your wife backstage. And he goes, in case anybody doesn't know what that is, it's when you shit in between someone's tits and you fuck it. And I was like, hey, that sounds like a call to action, dude, not a joke. Yeah. Now the rest of the roast was great. He and his brothers were way funnier than I thought. But
so ridiculous
when
to
he
say.
just kind of riffed it, everyone was
what
like,
I did to your wife.
yeah, you just
It was
kind of.
also the first thing he said when he got on stage. He was like, thanks for the applause. Josh Wolf's up here. Let me just fuck him up real
That
quick.
was so funny.
It was just, it was
Also, I thought the Cleveland Steamer was just a shit on the chest.
I didn't know they did fuck it,
I
too.
also thought that's
Yeah,
what it was,
I thought
too.
it was also the fuck it.
Well, you and Gronk are doing some weird shit there. I don't know.
Apparently, you and Gronk are the
I
experience.
will tell you that
Because then
night,
who's really the loser on that? You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to fuck
I feel
my
like
shit.
Nobody's a winner.
Yeah.
By the way, when you shit on someone's chest, I don't know if that
one's
makes
the
you a
winner
winner.
either.
No one's a winner.
The three of us kind of outed ourselves on that one. Like, if I had to fuck my shit, I wouldn't be into it.
Both of you were like the other part.
It's a generational thing. It's a generational thing.
You know the best part of that roast, and that roast was it's a shame it'll never air.
Oh, so good.
I think what happened was Nesson bought it, thinking they'd be able to air it. But going in, we were like, hey, I promise you, you won't be able to air this.
Yeah, not on Nesson, like maybe on the internet or something, but they wanted it for
They wanted-
Nesson TV.
So
Now they're charging like $1,000 a month, so maybe you can get it, right?
dude, they still have it. But I think the
So
funny,
like they own it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they
that
bought the
sucks.
rights to it because
But-
it was fully filmed and taped.
Yeah.
Adam Ray, you know who Adam Ray
Yeah.
is? Adam Ray is he's such a talented dude, by the way. But
we got to get him in here next.
He had
he's so
someone
fucking
come
funny.
and do some makeup on him, so he looked like an old man, and he put on a Yankees jersey. So we were pretending he was just an old Yankees player.
Yeah.
And he gets up there and he starts laying into the Red Sox in the front row, and you can see him looking at like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he starts laying into Pedroia and how tall he is. And Pedroia looks at me. He goes, "You booked this fucking asshole for this?" I go, it's okay. He's a buddy of mine. He goes, "You know this fucking guy?" Because he was really. I
Yeah.
go, no, he's a comic. He's a comic. It's
Yeah,
cool. It's
yeah.
cool.
I mean, roasts are weird. It's
But-
like if you're
but-
not part of roast culture,
It's
you know.
because nobody knew who he was.
Right, you just think he's a random fucking
You
dude.
just think he's this
Yeah,
random New
yeah.
Yorker. And
Right.
so when he was going in so hard. People were getting really like, who the fuck is this guy?
It was half and half. Some people were laughing, and the rest of the crowd was like, "Yo,
What the
are we gonna
fuck?
have
Yeah.
to throw an old man
fighting
out of this
fucking old guy?
this
Yeah.
club right now?"
It
Like,
was so good. I wish, I wonder how we wrestled that out of their hands.
I think probably with a bunch of money, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, it would probably also be able to recoup it in whatever you can do with it because it sounds like a bomb squad.
It was so funny.
it was so good.
Yeah.
It was
Roasting
really,
is a weird.
interesting.
It's really not
I don't
my
know.
thing.
Yeah,
Tell you
but
the truth.
I also don't know.
I do well.
No, we've
Like, I don't
we've-
do well because I'm not funny enough. I also don't think I'd be like, all right, I feel awkward.
there
now.
there's just a lot, it's like we've talked about it at Barstool a lot, and it's like, well, it's kind of like nuclear war, it's like, are we launching the nukes? Because like I can say a bunch of things,
Yeah,
but you're gonna say a bunch of things I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how far are we going?
Every-
And then you don't want to be the one guy who's like, well, my material is like I kept it like PG-13
Yeah.
because I don't want to be an asshole, but you just went first and fucking went off. And
Right.
It's just like I think it's better to do it like kind of how the Comedy Central does it, where it's like these are comics, they don't really know you, they just Googled you and they're doing regular shit.
Yeah.
Versus like I've been working with you for 15 years and I know
And
what
I know
skeletons, I know
everything.
the bodies
I
are
know
buried.
everything
I've seen you
about
at
you.
your lowest. All that shit. So I also don't know if like roast comedy is like where the world is at right now. I feel like there was that era of Comedy Central where it was like, you had the roast of David Hasselhoff and the roast
That's
of Howard
interesting.
Stern, and we had to, and there's like, I mean, it's gotten a little soft and it's gotten a little like, you need to be more clever and not just, Cleveland Steamer jokes on fucking stage.
I will tell you,
Off the
for
rip.
me, it's never been my thing.
Yeah.
And when I've only done that one roast, and I put everything in song with funny pictures.
Right, and it's just
It-
like
it's-
it's still funny. I'm gonna like clown you a little
Yeah,
bit,
man.
but I'm not. You know.
But I
mean, I remember those with like Nikki Glazer and.
But she's so good at it.
Yeah, like the people who are good at it. But when you're good at it, you're you're an assassin. And it's like you make a lot of enemies, or people being like, "That was funny," but also like, "I hate your guts." Like, I'm laughing because I have to, but also like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, but
you know?
but guys like Nikki does it so well, and
Jeffrey Ross is like,
right. But there's an art to having people laugh with you.
Yeah.
And
But that's you know what I mean. Is that really
dude.
going on much these days, where it's like everything is very
Even as the viewer, I'm like, this is
really.
awkward.
I don't like watching them. I don't
Yeah.
like. I'm like, this is too bad. Like I've seen clips here and there. I've never watched a full roast, but I've seen clips on the internet here and there. And what the comedian Harrison, the Bill Cosby.
Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress. Sorry about Harrison. On the Bieber.
Oh, the Bieber
roast.
one was amazing though.
The Bieber roast
because
was
that was just
great.
so mean.
When he
He's
was just
I
like-
don't like you as a person. I'm only here because this is good for my career.
Yes.
I hate your
when,
music.
when he was
I
like,
hate
"Thank you for
Greg
this incredibly
Girardo.
transparent attempt to make you seem more likable, but I hate you. Good night."
Greg Girardo.
Oh man.
Greg Girardo on the Cable Guy roast was like, "You're a made-up character." I was in the audience like, "Oh my!"
There's a bunch of people across the Midwest
He was
going,
like,
"What?"
He was like, "What are we doing here? You're not a real person." Like
Isn't he
genuine.
from like Connecticut or something?
No. And by the way, I toured with him for years.
He's
dude.
awesome.
He's
We got him on
awesome.
the
I like
show.
him, but yeah.
Fucking
but
great
like,
dude.
you know,
He's
when you
from
pull
Florida.
the Wizard of Oz back, it's
Yeah,
like,
dude, but
That's actually he's kind of got to the point where there are so many rumors about him because everyone knows he's a character now.
Right.
Where like I remember hearing like he went to Harvard.
yeah, he's from Britain.
like a man
He's
of
from London.
mystery
He's not
now.
even. Yeah.
That's
I will tell
makes
you,
it
man.
even better, by the way.
I toured with him for 4 years.
I for sure have heard that. Larry the Cable Guy went to Harvard.
I've toured. It's hilarious.
hilarious.
He did not.
Definitely did not.
But he's such a good dude,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
the most generous person I have ever
Well,
been
because he's
associated
also filthy fucking rich.
with. But not every filthy fucking
yeah,
rich
he's generous.
person
Yeah,
is
no.
super
Yeah,
generous.
Most of them are not.
He's a
actually.
really nice guy.
Yeah, and he was, and not only generous with money, but like generous with stage time and generous with what he was like. Just do.
That's
Whatever you
probably
want.
because like I remember we had him on. We've had him on once. I think he's one of our 2 guests to dip. Him and Julian Edelman.
Yeah, he threw
Who
in a
dipped
fucking
he
hammer.
had a charge.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck
Right?
yeah.
Edelman had like little like pouches. He had a fucking
He was
just
like-
tar and
it was
and
great.
but he was telling us a story about how he got his start, which was someone couldn't make it, right? And then Foxworthy just had him on for the opener.
Yeah.
And he's like, so I imagine a start like that will have you pretty generous with stage
Now,
time.
look, someone couldn't make it. I'll tell you the rumor I heard. I don't remember the dude's name, but what I heard that he gave somebody.
Was he Larry or the other guy?
No, the other dude.
Okay.
Gave somebody in the big dude's camp a receipt for the $7 taxi to the arena.
Wow.
And they were
said,
like,
"Fuck you."
Oh, okay.
Wow.
This nationwide tour, the biggest tour going right now, that's not enough. We're a $7 receipt for the cab? Cool.
Peace.
See you later. No way.
Because it was opening night.
And they're like, we're not gonna
and
deal with this
They were
bullshit
like,
the whole- yeah.
Smart.
This doesn't seem like,
Bro,
basically doesn't seem like
that
our
is-
type of guy.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
He's the Pete Best of comedy. This dude.
yeah. Like,
Like he's Cable Guy's Ringo Starr. You know what I mean?
I love stories about people who fumble the bag, like the
That's
guys who
what I heard
turned down a
of it.
movie role or whatever. That's a great one.
Yeah.
The fucking blue collar comedy tour you fucked up for a
By the way,
$7 cab ride.
I will tell you this, man. As a comic,
Here's your sign.
I don't think exactly. I don't think Cable Guy or Foxworthy get enough credit in the comedy world for who they are and what they've done. I bet you, if you look at top 20 selling albums of all time, if you count Cable Guy, Foxworthy, and Blue Collar, they got to have 8 or 9 out of the top 20.
Well, you know what I think
Don't you
happens?
think?
No, absolutely.
I would
mean,
guess,
when
because they were in Walmart.
When they
Right?
because
Yeah,
but
dude.
also
People still buying
And
CDs.
still buying
and
CDs
yeah.
and DVDs. Yeah.
Foxworthy is, he's got the whole every Procter and Gamble fucking thing because he doesn't curse and he's not talking
And a
about sex and he's
great
and he's still
storyteller,
funny. But yeah.
dude.
I mean,
Great
you open up
storyteller.
so many other doors. I
Blue
mean,
collar comedy might be what got me into comedy. I think like those
Dude.
DVDs were like what got me into like
When
liking
I was
stand-up
touring
comedy.
with Cable Guy, his road manager, he did an hour and a half set every night, and he counted, and it was something because he rattles them off. It was something like 349 punchlines.
Jeez.
So say you don't think he's funny and you only laugh at 50% of his jokes.
Still,
you're laughing 170 times. That's a great show. He just throws hammers and you don't even hear all of it.
But I do think when you hit that level and you are in Walmart or you are hosting Smarter Than a Fifth Grader or whatever, people think of you as like you're the game show host now, not the fucking stand-up comic, you know? But it's like, well, yeah, man, but I'm so good at that I do. You know what I mean? It's like, but because I don't say fuck or because I don't talk about sex or whatever, you know, I'm not in the cool club or whatever. Okay, I'm going home to my like $100 million. See you later. Dude. Whether you're looking to pop the question, you have a milestone to celebrate, or you want to just let your love sparkle, Blue Nile can help make that celebration even more memorable. They are the OG online jeweler, the original, the first ones ever to do it. They're the biggest, the best. They have the largest selection of independently graded diamonds and pieces priced significantly below traditional retailers. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools let you choose the diamond shape, the size, the clarity, as well as the style setting. Let me give you a little secret. Just get the biggest one you can. Don't worry about the clarity. Don't worry about the quality. Nobody's going to roll up on your girl with a microscope looking at the clarity. Just get a fat rock.
I like that idea.
Right?
That's what I get for myself.
Go to Blue Nile. They have jewelry experts on hand 24/7. Don't listen to them. Just listen to me. I'm the jewelry expert. Get a big diamond. No one ever goes, oh, my God, have you seen her? Did you see her rock? It's so clear. No one says that. They say how big it was. But if you do want to talk to them, they're available via phone or chat to help you get a memorable gift at every budget. Make your moment sparkle with Blue Nile. Go to BlueNile.com. Use code Kevin to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more. That's BLUENILE.com. Code Kevin. Save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more. BlueNile.com. Code Kevin. Like big money.
I'm curious.
Didn't you write jokes for him?
On Fifth Grader, I wrote for Foxworthy.
That's why that show sucked, huh?
So
Bro, I love that. Our whole family would sit down watch TV. We'd be like, "Are you Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?"
It's great. It's
you know how many
concept.
Uranus jokes I wrote? All of them, every single one. I'm like, astrology, all right, Uranus. It's the only funny one we got. Everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Run it back, play the hits.
I'm curious, where do you consume your comedy? Do you watch it on YouTube or TikTok?
A lot of clips, just because TikTok is prominent and they read that algorithm
Your
for
brain?
whatever it does. Yeah. And they can
How fucking sick is it that YouTube is now the old one?
Crazy.
Like you weren't gonna say like television or like the internet. It's now forget about TV.
Yeah.
Even forget about Netflix. It's now YouTube and maybe forget about that.
I will tell you,
fucking nuts.
In a really weird turn of events, Facebook has made a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah, you've always crushed on Facebook, right?
You know what?
You'll put up tens of millions on Facebook, right?
Because I'm talking to the people who are coming to my show.
Yeah. Well, because you're old.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Listen, don't whisper. I can't hear what you're saying.
But yo, we forgot kind of about Facebook, and I actually there's that whole side of Facebook that's just political and
I don't
arguing,
do that shit.
So I'm kind of whatever. And then we finally got a production team that's we're putting everything on every platform and scheduling and blah 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 blah.
Right.
And it's Facebook is still
there's still
fucking
people.
Facebook.
Right.
We're worried about I'm sitting around tweeting. I'm putting out tweets to
Twitter is dead.
Dead.
What are you doing?
1,000 hours a day on it.
What are you doing?
All I spend time on, and it'll be you just got seen by 30,000 people.
It's terrible, dude.
No.
But it goes both ways. We put all our eggs in the Twitter basket as a company at Barstool, and I think it made us who we are in a lot of ways. We would live tweet anytime there was a nationally televised thing, whether it's a sport or a award show or whatever, all of us tweeting all the time, and our fans would have second screen.
Yeah.
And so it kind of made this what it is today. And then I still think within our bubble, if I'm promoting tickets or I need to get information or sell merch, I'm still getting to my core. But as far as getting to the other people, we are wasting our fucking time.
I will tell you, man.
I can't even break through on TikTok. I'm just I'm gonna go tweet for 7 hours.
I will tell you, and it may be because he and I are doing a lot more things together with the show, and he tours with me, and we do videos together. But my crowds are getting younger. They really are.
Yeah. I'm sure.
This weekend, we sold 5 shows in Portland, and after that show, the Late Show Saturday, I was like, they're getting younger.
Kids, yeah.
They're getting younger.
That's sick.
It's amazing. It really and bringing him out and my material. Look, I'm not telling kid jokes anymore.
Right.
I'm telling stories about being an adult, being in college.
Sure.
And so it's timing up perfectly because when 35 and younger, you may not want to hear about my kid stories, but now we're talking about going out and getting drunk and doing drugs, and I'm hitting this.
So you're just exploiting your son.
I'm hitting this. I'm hitting this audience now. Well, I mean, what's changed? Nothing. Yo, tell him when he asked me for money once, and I was like, I'm not sure if I should give you money. Tell him what you told me.
Well, I told him that all his jokes were about me. So
Yeah.
I am
For
the
real.
indirect breadwinner of this
Absolutely,
family.
man.
So
He called
I put
himself the
food on
indirect
this
breadwinner.
table, God damn it! I am the indirect breadwinner. I put food on this table.
Dad. You're fucking running the same routine from '98. All right.
I put food on this goddamn table. All right.
I have about probably 6 people in my life who I owe.
Yeah,
who are
a
putting
lot
the bread
too.
on the table.
A lot too.
Like,
I've
maybe
thought
even
about-
less than that. Maybe 4 who are like all of my stories are either with or about or
From or
and
yeah.
I kind of feel the same way where I'm like, I feel bad.
Yeah.
But also, like, I was there. It's my story
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I'm part of it.
Dude, I
You
have
were the one who was dumb.
Yeah,
but I was there.
Yeah, it's not my fault. I was the observer, and you were doing whatever you were
Also,
doing.
like, I'm the one doing it. I was like, yo, you guys, you were funnier in that story, or you had the crazy thing happen. I don't know, you tell it on a microphone. You go do it, man. I'm the idiot.
You're the main character. I'm just, trying to help you tell your own story.
Yeah.
I'm the reliable narrator. Relax.
Dude, have you done any more stand-up?
No, we've gotten into the live shows, and I have not done like another solo thing since I opened. I would love to.
You're a busy dude, man.
That's the thing. It's like I sometimes I see other comics and I am like, I think I could be funnier than that. Like, those jokes are fine, but I don't want to go up and do like half-ass. You know what I mean? And it's like you got to do it like all out.
Yeah,
you know
you
what I mean?
can't
Right
do it
now
half-ass.
we've got a whole bunch of shit. You know?
You can't do it half-ass. Right now, there are more good comics than I think ever in the history.
Right.
When you look at lineups at clubs on the weekends, you're like, oh, killer.
Yep.
Not counting who's in the theaters and the arenas in the same city.
Right. Just like regular fucking
killer,
everybody going
killer.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like there's no way to do it halfway.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to be following or preceding anybody who's just like much better, much more committed, all that shit.
I will tell
but
you,
it was like I loved it. It was an awesome moment. It was like something like a bucket list thing that I'm happy, even if I just do it once in my life, that I did it. It definitely helped. Like, we do live podcasts, which is very different, but just from getting to know comedy clubs and feeling that out, it was like an important thing to do. But it is, I mean, just that little bit was like, I focused on just that for leading up to, you know what I mean? There's just so much other shit going on here. But
I will tell you, like, something happened over the last couple of years for me. All the wheels are on the fucking tracks right now on stage. It has been like, even at my advanced age, where I would think, was thinking, I'm gonna be done. Like, I don't think I can do this.
right.
We're only just getting started.
I'm so reinvigorated.
Yeah.
Yo, dude.
Yo, you know what you are? You're LeBron.
I was gonna say Belichick. Like, he got Steve Belichick in, and it was like, oh, there's no 10 out of 10 years. This is fun.
I'm having, and you know me, man. I'm not a braggadocious.
No, yeah, not at all.
This is the best I've ever been. I feel so good on stage right
You
now.
better be. You've been doing it for
900 years. Yeah, that's exactly right.
But that makes sense too.
Yeah.
It's like, you talk about like your 10,000 hours. You probably hit that like
in
2
my
decades ago.
30s.
It's like, yeah. It's like, and then you get a whole new. I think the problem is if you're like, how many jokes can you tell about this one? Or I guess it's not the jokes you're writing, but you're up on stage doing the same thing for decades, and now you have something that like totally changes the dynamic, and it probably gives you new life.
Oh, 100%. And not only that, man. Look, the truth of the matter is, when your kids hit a certain age, you think you're going to see them 3-4 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is selfishly such cool bonus time for me.
Yeah, for real.
It's like,
Yeah.
You know, and my other kids have like my oldest son has started to come out and do some. He did some stand up the last
Really?
couple weekends. Yeah.
So are you doing like stand up routine or what? Like what are you?
Not 100% yet. I think it's definitely in the future. Starting next year, I'm gonna just tour with him every weekend. So I'm gonna quit what I've usually been doing. So like I work TV production usually. So I'm gonna stop doing that and I'm gonna hop on the road and. You know, just see what doors open. I know I can do time on stage, not time. You know what I'm saying? But that would have been weird. But
You would not do well.
no, sir.
I've often made the argument I do very well.
I mean,
I need structure in my life. I need to go to jail.
they pick clothes for you. You know what I mean? I don't got to choose my clothes.
Meal time.
Yeah.
I need structure. That is funny.
We do like a Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually
That's
works.
what's cool is there are no rules anymore, you know? Or you know, there's still like gatekeeping comedy like assholes about how you have to do it and all that shit, but it's like sell the tickets and fucking perform a song, do a Q&A, do whatever you want.
Yeah, we have a great time on stage though. Like sometimes
It gets a little.
Gets loose.
I mean, most of the time, like this weekend in Portland was fucking outstanding. Like they really came out to show up and
You guys were in Maine or Oregon?
Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Or you say
You call it Oregon?
I say Oregon.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, there's no E at the Oregon. Oregon.
You know what's weird is I say Oregon,
I'm
but
like
if I'm talking
having a
about
panic attack right now. I'm just listing the Pacific Northwest in my head, going, all right, Washington. Like I got that one definitely.
Idaho.
I say Oregon,
Colorado?
but then I say if I'm talking about the computer game, I'll say the Oregon Trail. But then I'll say
Well,
Oregon.
okay,
Me
Michigan,
too, by the
Oregon,
way.
That's
Washington.
That's
Trail.
That's fair. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like that one
I don't know
makes
why,
sense.
but
that one makes
you know what
sense.
I've been doing recently? Sort of physically abusing my kids every time they say Mario because I want them to say Mario like me.
When you say sort of physically,
Yeah. What is
what
sort
does
of?
that mean?
I run around and
accidentally
like
drop things
torture
on
them.
yeah.
I like just like tickle them like until they cannot breathe. And I say, "How do you say his name?" And they say Mario, and then I let them go.
I mean,
Just
listen,
getting them to say it the wrong way, just because I'm selfish like that.
I don't think that's wrong.
Come on.
Listen, when
I'm not
he
asking for
was
much.
when he was 9,
I've seen tickle torture before. It is a
Yeah,
thing.
It's
It's a thing.
it's a way it works.
I mean, you're wearing clothes, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen it on websites that are very different from.
You don't mean lingerie on, right? So I think
Hey,
you're.
have you seen this fucking guy? Probably not. He's running for Congress in New York. His whole I guess like the big part of his platform is very sex positive. So he wants to make sex work all legal and everything. So he just fucking put out a porn to announce his candidacy, and it's
The
him.
commercial?
Huh?
That weird like commercial that he put
No, he
out?
put out an actual
No,
porn.
he on Pornhub. It's called Bucket List Bonanza, and he is just fucking a porn star.
Get the
and it's just
fuck outta
awkward, like regular dude sex. And he's
Can I
like,
ask-
I am running for Congress.
Before I watch it in its entirety,
Yes.
which
You
I
will.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
will.
yeah.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
I ask
yeah.
a few questions?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Is it like a scene? Does he do any acting?
No, it's very,
Is
you
it
know,
campaign-y?
You like the acting.
Wait, for in this, because if it's a campaign,
'Cause he should-
commercial,
he should have been like,
yeah, no, you're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
I
You're
thought
right.
he
You're
would do
100%
like
right.
I thought he'd be talking about what he'd be running for.
Yeah.
while
no,
he
this
was
is,
fucking
it's
her.
very,
Like it should have been instead of like the pizza guy, it's a door to door, it's a
That's what I'm
canvasser.
saying,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
like,
you're right.
you know, what do I got to do to get your vote?
That's, he missed his opportunity for the best
No,
political
that's what
ad
makes
ever.
this so weird. Is it's very sanitary where they do that like they do like in the beginning she's like, I am here of sound mind. I am not under the influence, and
No boner.
I agree
Sorry.
that yeah, it sounds like super rapey.
Yeah.
Even though it's the opposite of that. It's like, why did you have to say
Yeah,
that? You
that's
know?
like-
I already assumed that,
Yeah,
girl.
yeah,
now you're making me question things.
yeah, you didn't have
and
to.
crazy
and
thing when you
he's
say
leaning
it.
over her shoulder and doing that speech, and he's kind of just like like awkwardly laughing, and then she's like, okay, let's do it, and he's got like a normal guy body. You never realize how much you want your male porn stars to look hot until you see a fucking regular guy doing it. You're like, this is gross, dude. You don't even have abs, man.
What is going on? Yeah.
It's like watching Josh Wolf fuck. I don't want to do this over here. But he also at the same time kind of, it's like, fuck yeah, man, that was some awkward like missionary, dude. And like now you're tired and she's just riding on top of you because like you're a middle-aged man. This is some real sex.
This is
dude.
real sex.
Yeah. It's
And
actually a
it's-
lot like Real Sex on HBO, and you used to watch that. And it was
Can
like,
you jerk off to real sex?
Are you talking about
now?
the show or actual real sex?
Actual real sex.
Oh, okay.
Not the show. The show now.
Probably
is-
depends
now,
on.
But when you were 13, yeah.
Then it was hitting the ceiling, watching real sex, TV, MA, nudity. Bam!
Now I'm like, it's a person talking. I need 7 guys in here. But
Hey.
but back then,
Yeah, you don't even know what we're talking about, do you?
What was the first boob you saw? Do you remember?
His is probably like Kim Kardashian.
Oh, let's guess. Let's guess.
How
Was
old
it?
are you,
We think it was a
25?
movie or
That's
a
not
porn?
that young, though.
Movie or porn?
movie. Mine was.
Oh,
mine
I
was
don't
a
know.
movie.
He might have just been internet porn.
No,
Ooh, hold
your
on.
first
Don't say anything yet. Don't say anything yet.
Oh,
So let's
He doesn't
say
even know.
let's say age.
It's like,
we're-
I've
let's
seen
say
so many
age
tits,
13
man, I don't know.
is the first, or age 12 maybe.
Well, the thing is, like, for movies, you could catch it early. You know what I mean? Like, I remember watching like horror movies when I was like a little kid, where there was
Yeah,
always like a girl
yeah,
I
getting
guess
fucked.
I
you
actually
know?
couldn't tell you which one is the first one I saw.
I
can
know
tell you
the one I
first-
think.
Like I know what I think
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I'm sure I probably saw one earlier again in a
Right,
horror movie, or
right.
some movie I didn't know I was really watching.
I'm gonna
I don't
guess
know
internet.
if-
I'm
I
gonna
don't
guess
know if-
internet.
I don't know if I know the answer to that, but if it is movie, what year did Role Models come out?
Fuck you.
Role models?
I was like out of college.
like with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's got to be like 2000, like
Yeah.
7.
That's when
That was
still-
in that golden age of like.
the Sean William Scott run.
Yeah.
Where he
Yeah.
did like the rundown.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
fucking
all
Yeah, yeah,
American
yeah,
Pies
yeah,
and all that.
Pie. I would guess that's
Where's my phone?
2006. No,
Can
four
you
to six.
Google that somebody?
I got it.
Role models?
But that was after. That was
But
towards
by-
the end of his run, wasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah,
Was it
like
mid- yeah.
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So how old were you
definitely
at
that
that
might have been
point?
his last movie.
2008, 11.
That's probably
That's
you know right
probably
around
right
there.
That's probably
That's the one you might
that's,
you maybe saw one in passing or whatever, but you
but
remember.
that's probably where I'd pinpointed it.
I weirdly watched that movie like recently. It's a great movie.
It's a
and there's a
great
good
movie,
like,
by
there's
the
good
way.
tits
What was
in
your,
it.
so what do you
I
think
don't
was the
remember
first?
the nudity in it.
What
Like,
do you think was the
I
first?
don't remember the nudity in it either. I
What
think
was the
my-
nudity in?
Was it that?
because Role Models has the kids in it.
Yeah, it's where they're camping, remember? And then
Oh yeah, like
yeah,
they
where
were
they're
having
camp-
sex in the
yeah, in the
Stifler's
tent.
fucking a girl
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
tent.
exactly.
Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't realize they. That
Yeah,
they
I
well,
forgot
nudity
because
in it.
because the little kid walks into the tent and she's just
Right.
laying.
That's a
there.
great movie, by the way.
That's
Yeah.
underrated
It's
movie.
an underrated movie. Yeah,
Super-
great's a little bit much.
Yeah,
It's an underrated
underrated,
movie. Yeah.
Super good movie.
What do you think the first one?
I think mine was. I know the first one. Like I went out of like where I was like, hold on, rewind, and maybe it doesn't really count because it wasn't like a full boob, but it was a lot of vagina in Austin Powers. And, like,
There's a scene she's in a
Now
hot
I will
tub
tell
with
you
her
when you
fake tits
said
floating.
when you said I don't know if there was a boob, but there was a lot of vagina. There was a pause. I'm like, you saw a movie with no tits, but a lot of vagina.
There's a scene she's in a hot tub and she's got like the fakest like 90s
Yeah,
fake tits
yeah.
and they're like floating like buoys.
Yeah.
And I remember like one of the first times I think like we like really connected as like coworkers was like we both like sat there and rewound
Like,
like
trying to
scene
see
by
if the
scene,
nipple
'cause
was coming
her
up.
nipple
I think
floats
that's
above the
I
water.
think that's an areola.
Yeah,
right
is that a
there,
bubble
yeah.
or a nipple or whatever? I
Hilarious.
was like, me too. I saw fuck, what was the name of it? Doc Hollywood with Michael J. Fox.
There were tits in.
He's like up in the because he's like a city slicker doctor.
yeah.
He goes to like the woods, basically the sticks, and she walks out of a lake naked, and he's like, well, maybe this isn't so bad here. But it's a really random
Dude,
like
Was Tommy Boy pre or post
Tommy Boy
Austin
has tits?
Powers?
pre.
Or Black Sheep, maybe. One of them. There's like a girl like who just kind of drops her.
Tommy
like,
Boy
shirt
had
top.
to be pre Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
right?
Farley.
Let me tell you,
Farley was, like,
the
mid-90s.
first tit I saw on screen
Oh, God.
when my
Charlie Chaplin was out there.
yeah, it was a talkie. My buddy turned 13, and his dad was like, "All right, I'm gonna get you guys 2 movies," and he had a VCR, and we were like, "Oh, VCR!"
Yeah.
And so, one of the movies was Warriors, and we had never seen. It was.
I gotta be honest. I don't even. What's Warriors?
You don't know Warriors?
No, what's that?
It's like a Warriors come out and play. And we-
It's like a
cult
like a
classic.
I know you're not
yeah,
gonna know, but-
Yeah, both you and I
It's and it was like at the time not being shown in theaters, like it was like real
Right.
kind of supposed to be super violent. And then he rented us an Alice in Wonderland porn, which so it was just like 8
So, by the way, so
super weird.
random.
8
So
13-year-old boys. We watched Warriors sitting like this. We watched Alice in Wonderland all on our stomachs. Like one by one, everybody just started laying down. We were wondering, last man standing, like, who's this broad?
Wait, your dad?
Who's this broad?
Your dad?
Not my dad.
Oh,
Not my
somebody
dad,
else.
not my dad.
Okay.
Some, my
Because I was
buddy's
gonna say,
dad.
I mean, you do that now. If
We
you had a
couldn't
bunch
do
of
that.
other people's
No,
kids
we
in your
couldn't do
basement
that
watching
now.
porn,
No.
you're going to fucking jail.
Yeah, but it was such a different time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because
Yeah, it was
like,
the 1800s.
it was.
The old jokes are not gonna stop. I'm gonna it's like a
I
Family
never
Guy joke.
stopped
Like
on
we
him.
played it out, but we're gonna keep going until it comes back around.
You know how I played it out? When he turned like 46 or 47, I decided on his 50th birthday, and I didn't tell him that I was going to start calling him Pops when he turned 50. So when he turned 50, I was like, happy birthday, Pops. And he was like, what the fuck is that?
I was
You know
at a
what's weird?
party.
I call my dad Pops, and I forget what time I made the transition, but it was definitely when it was like, what's up, Pops?
Now you're.
I'm
Pops.
in his phone as Pops.
all caps.
We were
nothing
at a
else.
party here at
all
Barstool.
caps, nothing else.
This shit-faced stoolie came up and wanted a picture, and gave it to our guy Large, who works here and does the boxing coverage and food and all that stuff. And he was like stumbling, like he couldn't get the fucking camera open. And I was like, "Grandpa, come on, dude, take the picture." And he was like, "Oh, that's your grandpa, man." The kid taking the picture, and I was like, "Thank you so much." I was like, "I will never let him hear the end of this."
Now you know I am a grandfather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
And so when his older brother, and so when he was like, "What do you want the grandkids to call you?" You get to pick your name. And I was like, "All right, call me tomorrow," because I wanted to pick the right one. And my wife, we talked about it, and she picked BB. Her name's Bethany, and BB's easy to say, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So
That's a tactic. Like I want him to say, I want the baby to say my name
Yeah,
first.
that's right, BB.
BB will come out really quick.
real quick, right?
Yeah.
2 years old saying that.
2 letters.
2 days old saying that.
Two letters, and it's the same letter.
Yeah.
And
Pretty
it's just
easy.
easy. So he calls the next day, and he goes, "What does Beth want to be called?" And I said, "BB." And he goes, "What do you want to be called?" And I said, "LeBron." And he goes, "What?" I go, "How cool is it to go to BB and LeBron's house? Who doesn't want to go to BB and LeBron's?" And plus, I was like, I really want to be at the park and just have a little kid be like, "LeBron!" And everyone like, "Get the fuck out."
Your dad's LeBron?
Yeah. But
You
then
don't look like
he said to me, he goes, "Does everything have to be a joke with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, are you new? Like you've been around for a while, man." Yeah. But he made me pick again. So now we're BB and JoJo.
JoJo. I like that.
I like that too, though.
Kind of sounds like Casey. and
I was gonna
JoJo.
say the fantastic
Yeah,
R&B duo, Casey and JoJo.
everybody vetoed LeBron, by the way. Your
Even my wife, everybody.
me,
I'm like, what is?
Trevor.
They didn't get it.
Yeah, no,
It's funny that it's like, does everything be a joke? It reminds me of the scene when Elaine is talking to Jerry, and it's like, everything with you is just so jokey. And he's like, I'm a comedian.
literally exactly how it is.
What are you surprised about?
I couldn't
nothing.
imagine living any other way. You know?
The hardest I've ever laughed, I think, in my life was at my grandfather's funeral.
I was there.
I mean, not that. It was at my dad's dad.
Oh.
My brothers, we're all kind of a bit of assholes.
Yeah.
But like, what cuts tension better than good humor?
Yeah.
And look, man, he was a funny guy.
What you guys Jewish? You're
Jewish,
Jewish
yeah.
and Asian? Is what
He's
you said?
Jewish,
on the
Asian,
show?
yeah.
And
We're a straight Jew.
That's how you get Adam Driver.
yeah,
I guess so.
yeah.
It worked out.
It really is. It's uncanny. Before you said like on the weekends I was gonna make some Adam Driver fucking stunt double joke.
Yeah.
I mean, you look like
Yeah.
exactly like it.
Yeah, it worked out.
It's jarring.
Yeah. It's
You're welcome.
yeah. I guess. Thanks. Sure.
Finally.
No, that's a good one. That's
Yeah, no,
like, chicks
that's a
fucking-
good compliment.
yeah.
I've been getting a lot. I've been also getting recently like a young Adrian Brody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys have
Which
that.
also I will take.
Also,
Yeah.
Not a bad
I
one.
will tell you, man. And I'm just gonna say this for him. It cannot have been easy growing up as him. Before getting Adam Driver and Adrian Brody, he had his business and the most embarrassing parts of his life
Yeah.
that millions and millions and millions of people saw and commented on. And like, dude, so much respect.
Yeah. I mean,
So much, and I would run it by him. And he'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can tell it. I
always
think he
checked
liked
with
the
it.
new shoes and shit,
yeah.
So
you wanna go on that trip, man? You want that? Yeah.
we need a new joke, dude.
Yeah.
But But like, I think people think it was some sort of, oh, he grew up in my house, so it must have been easy for him. I can't imagine at 14 life is hard enough.
Yeah.
But at 14 to have the whole world kind of point and laugh.
Having your fucking dad write the jokes for your enemies at school.
Yeah, but also at the same
like
time,
a professional comedian be the joke writer.
Did it
And just playing videos instead of saying anything. Just, just listen. I don't have to say much.
Did
It's your family.
I also could see it working though.
Yeah, so like it did also eventually work to my advantage.
Yeah,
'cause,
I
like,
mean, it's like, okay, like, haha, like,
Yeah.
yeah, my dad's fucking like funny and famous, and we're rich, and this is awesome. Fuck you.
Yeah, well,
You
I
know?
mean, I also if anybody ever tried to take jokes, it was like, I learned to try and fight back, but never physically, because I was always going to get my ass beat if that ever happened, because I was never a big kid. Still not a big kid. And so it was always just killing them with the same thing that they were trying to kill me
Sure.
with.
Yeah.
Or killing myself, not, like figuratively.
Before, yeah.
Before they
you
could
get
get
to
into it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
I mean, that's-
eventually I learned the way. I learned how they moved.
Yeah.
Not so I could
The
become
Jedi
one of
shit,
them.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom
But so I
Brady.
could like
I mean, it could
figure out-
absolutely backfire, or it
Yeah.
could work out like perfectly, and
Yeah.
it seemed to.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of like, like people who are, your baby didn't like consent to these pictures or these videos or these jokes or whatever, but it's also like, I don't know, shut the fuck up, man. Like, I'm telling like wholesome, funny stories. It's not like
Yeah.
you're really ever telling.
No.
There's some personal shit, but it's never like specifically like
No.
his thing that no other 14-year-old boy was going through, or
Right.
every family's
And
not dealing
also-
with, or
And
whatever.
he also always asked.
Yeah.
We
And there was
also,
always a mutual consent of, yeah, you're good to tell that. Like I said, he didn't tell the iCloud story for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I met David Ortiz, he said it was his favorite joke. And then laughed with me about it. And then
And
we
you're
went.
like, tell him forever.
Yeah. And then I was like, and then
There's nothing better than getting the green light from someone when
Yeah,
they're like, don't tell that
because-
story. Then
Yeah.
it's like, you can do it.
because right after that, we was just back to being regular and talking and
Yeah.
going out to a dinner. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, tell any joke you want. I'm not embarrassed anymore.
Right, yeah.
It was the night that I learned that being embarrassed is made up.
Yeah, so
90% of
in your head.
people don't even know who the fuck you are or are going
Right.
to remember what you do.
It's such a good thing to
So-
know to know
so
yourself.
early
It's hard
on-
to like.
Yeah.
A lot of people can say that. It's also different to like, truly accept it and
Yeah,
live it. But once you
absolutely.
do, it's like.
Your life changes.
Yeah.
Well,
And that was the night that my mentality, like a switch just flipped.
You
and it
do
was different.
realize, and I'm so glad that did happen for you, dude. I can get so many more stories. But you do realize it's such a good thing to realize that being embarrassed is kind of something you're making up in your own
Yeah.
head.
No. I mean.
Because like, look, the world doesn't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
Nobody's paying attention to you. Zero people are
But
paying
and then
attention.
also even
don't
when
know.
they are like, let's say you go viral, you're getting made fun of, you're in the blender, like they're not making fun of you, they're making fun of like that situation
Yeah.
that you happen to be the star of in that moment. But if it was me, it would be the same thing. If it was him, it'd be the same thing. Like you take your turn, you get out, and you
Yeah.
keep it moving. Like when people do go viral and it's like, like their life's gonna be ruined. It's like nobody knows who it is. That's just the guy who like got kicked out of the Target or whatever. They're not like that was Steve Smith who lives down the block. Who
I will tell you,
it's just
though-
nameless, faceless people that were all.
Can I ask you, do you think you're better at your job or better off as a person after what you went through?
I for sure let go of like the little things, like when like the worst thing that like used to happen to me on the internet was like people would be like, I don't think that blog was funny, or
Right.
like you were awkward in that video, and I would be like, fuck, like I'm awkward on camera.
Right.
Now I'm like, that shit does not even register.
Right.
And then there was, and it still goes to this day, like when people are talking shit about that stuff, that's like harder to get through. But when you let go of that too, it's like, well, now there's nothing left.
Right.
Like the little stuff doesn't matter. The big stuff is it's played out, or I've moved on, they've moved on, we've all moved on except for you guys. So like, go ahead, wait. I'm almost happy, like keep saying that rather than talking about my receding hairline or me putting on weight or whatever else would still, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah, you're fat, I'm old, you know?
whatever. Like that.
Yeah,
that
by the
is-
way, I'm going to like doing those. Yeah, well, welcome to the fight, everybody.
My turn now. But yeah, I mean, I think I can't say that I'm like a better person for it. I think I'm like a tougher person for it.
Did
you
you
know, like-
notice, like, Like, was there a point in time because you had to do the show with him still every day?
Yeah.
He did the show that Monday after everything blew up. Like we didn't miss a minute. He was a soldier.
Was there like a period where he was like kind of here, or just like it was a? Did you know? No.
I've always said I don't know if it's like an actual psychological term or just a term I've heard, but like red light syndrome, where like I know there've been like tough nights or tough days where and then like it's like we got to record. We hit play and it's like no, that's totally normal. And then it's like we have to talk again afterwards.
This probably is what like saved me throughout it all because I was able to just be like whatever. Like, I'm between the lines almost like it's like sports.
You
know?
could compartmentalize once you got in here.
Yeah, for sure. And that'll one day inevitably blow up in my face. Sure. It's just eating away at this compartment.
About 15, 20 years in a weird way.
When blood starts to come out my eyeballs. I should have talked to somebody about it. Man.
Yeah. I mean, it is weird. It's like I don't know what the difference is other than I mean, I know what the obvious difference is between like me and other people in like the entertainment world who have gone through it, and it's mostly just the level of fame. But there are a lot of people who did and went through exactly what I did and went through, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
And with me, it just follows me. Everything I put out, everything I say, everything I do, people are just constantly reminded by. It's like somebody asked me about if I was gonna like you can like pay people to like scrub your Google search results and stuff, and I was gonna do it at one point, and I don't because it's just like I put out a video on Instagram, and the top comment is like, "Did you know that he cheated on his wife?" And then new people are like, "Really? Did he?" And it's just like I don't know. It just nobody cares that. I don't want to blast other names out there that did it, but like your favorite comic who does this and your favorite actor does that, like did the same fucking shit, went through the same thing, and nobody cares. So
yeah, but dude, it's
kind of
you know who those people are, right?
Yeah.
So. In the grand scheme of things, inconsequential. Those people. You know who isn't?
Well, they're also mega rich.
Yeah,
and I wish I was mega rich.
No. I'm talking about the people leaving those.
Comments. Yeah.
So inconsequential.
Right. That's what I mean.
There are zero successful people
for sure
leaving those comments.
For sure.
Yes. And so and also, dude, look, man, I will tell you. Not just professionally, but personally, and I told him this last week, I feel better than I ever have in my entire life. There's something switched with me a couple, maybe 6 months ago. So I stopped, on stage, I've always been super free, and I don't care if I make mistakes, because I always looked at comedy as like a puzzle, right? Mm. And if I did a 1,000-piece puzzle right now, if I tried to fit a piece in and it didn't work, I wouldn't think of that as a failure or a mistake.
Sure.
I'd be like, I need to find another piece of this puzzle.
Yeah.
So I've always thought of comedy that way, so I've never thought of failure.
It's a good analogy.
I moved that to my life about 6 months ago. And so when things don't work or something, I don't think of my things in terms of success and failure anymore because it's life.
Yeah.
It's all life. It's all the puzzle
piece.
That's
such a good analogy. What the fuck took you so long to move 6 months ago? Guess what? I already got it now. Now
we're doing it now.
I heard it 1 second. I'm going to apply it to my entire life.
Can I tell you? It was mushrooms.
Psychedelic drugs.
I'm not doing the right mushrooms.
It was 100% mushrooms.
Yeah, man.
Mushrooms did the two biggest changes in my life in the last 2 years, without a doubt, is that one, which was mushrooms, and the one before it was mushrooms is, I used to have a little up and down depression, right? Probably the same as 90% of the people in the world. And one day was a real down, and I was like, fuck, I'm leaving the planet tonight, and I'm taking some mushrooms. And as I took the mushrooms,
I thought that was gonna be darker for a second.
No.
Me too.
It's like, dude, you got kids.
You should have those days.
No. I'm taking some mushrooms, right? And so I take a whole bunch of mushrooms. And about midway through the trip, my brain said to me, "Yo, dude, hey, just so you know, this is the same brain you had earlier. You're in control of how you feel.
Right. Yeah.
You're in control. So you're thinking about good things right now. If you thought about bad things right now, you'd feel bad.
Feel bad. Yeah.
Stop thinking about the bad things." And so, look, it didn't happen overnight, but anytime, I don't even call myself a piece of shit anymore. It hasn't happened in dude.
Bro, that's the goal, man.
In over a year and a half, I haven't said anything, even in my own head, bad about
That's
myself.
wild. That's really like that's nirvana, man.
Dude,
that's like achieving some sort of zen.
Every time I did the first couple months, I would be like, "Nah, change that. That's not what you think about yourself."
Well,
You're
you
not
know what?
that guy."
It is. That's so like.
That's fucking
crazy.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
Dude, it
and
really
it
been crazy.
makes me feel like so stupid and like a pussy that I can't tell my own brain to stop. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking tell your brain to stop, dude.
Because we've
just
been
stop it.
conditioned to be like, it's not okay to think good about yourself.
Yeah.
That
is
you're
the
an
one
asshole
thing
if you think good about.
I
That's
really
not-
wish I could change. I've always said if I could go back and do it again, I think I would be a little less self-deprecating because I thought that's definitely my style of humor.
Well,
but I
yeah,
think
but
sometimes
you can still be self-deprecating, dude, and realize. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you something about the two of you guys. If you think of in the history of people who have podcasts, I want to tell you, you are in the 1%.
Yeah.
That's something that when you leave here some days, you should be like, we're fucking crushing.
We do. He's good about that. He'll remind me every now and then, or like we'll have a week where it's like we interviewed like amazing comics. We put out a new set of merch, new game, new this, new that, and like we were like that would be a good career for a couple people, and we did this shit in like a week, you know. And we'll like, but that's far, you know. We do that like.
Can I tell
once
you?
every 6 months?
Yeah,
or
that's
happens.
that's
like,
moving. What do you call it? Moving chairs on the Titanic.
Yeah.
We're doing a bunch of shit this week to promote the show, and this was his. He was like,
Yeah.
if I
That's
no
awesome,
longer I
man.
can come on
100%.
Barstool.
That's awesome.
100%.
I love
This
that,
was
yeah.
my number one.
I
I was
love
like,
to
if
hear
I
that,
gotta
man.
come for one day or a one thing or my flight gets delayed, what time is Barstool? And he was like, 1. I was like, I will be there.
Awesome, man. I love that.
I was like, I will
appreciate
swim
that.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know how. But I will fucking be there.
I like to hear that,
at
dude.
1.
That's awesome.
Because this is fucking awesome.
And you two are so good and have gotten it's like exponentially better.
Have you noticed? I love when people say that because I'm
So-
like, does that mean that we went from good to great or from like bad to good?
Yeah.
you know, like,
You know what you went from? You went from good at your job to having a real specific voice.
Mm-hmm.
There's no you guys have a very specific voice and tone of this show.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
think
so
you're right.
that's what it's changed. Like for me, as somebody who likes stories and storytellers, when you have a specific point of view, that's a story every time I listen to your show.
Sure.
I'm listening to
Yeah,
your
yeah,
story.
yeah. Right,
And
right,
so
right.
that's what I think you guys definitely locked into that, you know? But fuck yeah. That's you should
Like,
be
I
happy
know.
about that.
I mean,
absolutely.
it's just I think that this era is still so fresh into the social media and internet era where like I've said a million times, I do not think we are programmed to have this much interaction, good or bad.
I agree.
And like it's just not natural to either be praised by 100,000 people or hated by 100,000 people. With the good, the bad, the ugly, like all of it is like this. We're supposed to like have your 5 people in your family and you then meet another 5 people and you marry and like that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You lived on a farm and you knew like 7 people your whole fucking life. And now it's like, no, you're like the whole world could literally judge you if you get caught up in, the
when he would come home from school and he had his phone, right? And I remember
how old, by the way, how old when you got him his first phone?
It was my first day of 6th grade. So
It's like 12?
11, 12, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I remember my daughter was like, I need a phone. I'm like, why? And she was like 10 or 11. She was like, what, to get in touch with you? I'm like, from where? Where are you going to be? And she was like,
I'm gonna bring you there.
yeah. And then someone's going to call me when it's time to come get you.
Yeah.
And she was like, what if I get kidnapped? I'm like, they're not going to let you make a phone call.
They're going to take your phone first and foremost.
100% chance that it's not jail. You don't get one call. They take your call. They take your phone immediately.
Like I think about how much shit I used to like walk to school alone, go on the bus alone,
Yeah.
like just walk out of the house and be like, I'll be back later. If my kids, I mean, they're still young now, but when they're in 4th and 5th grade, if they were to just like walk out of the door and be like, I'll be back in 6 hours, I feel
With
like
no
I'd call
way
the
to-
police. I'd
with
be
no
like,
way to get in
they're
touch with them,
gone.
right?
Yeah,
No
like-
cell phone,
yeah, and
no
they,
nothing.
and it was okay. I'm sure some kids did get kidnapped or die, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah, but you didn't hear
now
about
it
it.
just
Oh, like
feels like
half the kids made it out of the 90s.
there's a mass like genocide because parents just let kids go. No, but continue. So the first day you got his phone.
Oh, when was the first time you got your phone? You were 11 or...
I was probably 11 or 12. First day of 6th grade. And
But that was, you started saying that.
I remember also, he was in the car once and we were getting into it a little bit. I go, dude, keep it up. I'm going to take your phone.
That's the
And
big
I,
one,
And I
right?
go, you're going to have to use a payphone. He goes, you mean like that one from 7-Eleven? I go, no, dude, not a phone I buy for you that has minutes, not a payphone.
Oh.
And he goes, "What's a payphone?" I'm like, this is not a good conversation for me.
Do you remember I used to call collect, and when it said like, "What's your name?" I would say where I was for my parents to come get me.
Yeah.
And then they would not accept the charges because they couldn't pay like the 75 cents, I guess.
Bob, out of baby, it's
a boy. One of the greatest commercials ever. Do you know that one? You remember that one?
Well, yeah, of course.
Bob, out of baby, it's a boy.
I will
This is some
tell
old
you,
people shit. Don't worry, Jacob.
he at the beginning of quarantine, he was coming over, and he was like, "Hey, I want to watch some movies, comedy movies that I've never watched with you."
That's a good. He like proactively did it. You didn't have to jam it
didn't
down
have
his
to-
throat.
And the first thing I put on for him, have you guys ever
What's the
seen?
choice? That's a big choice. The first one. What'd you pick?
Have you ever seen Windy City Heat?
No.
No.
That movie. Okay.
Does it suck? Is that what you're gonna say?
No,
Oh, okay.
it was like for me. It's like a cult classic, right?
Okay.
But it is.
I'm gonna explain what it
so,
is.
Yeah, it's so well
There was
done.
this-
Wait. Okay, you like it? I wasn't sure where you were
loved
going with it. Okay.
Loved
yeah,
it.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
Loved
this-
it. Loved every.
I
minute
thought you were
of it.
about to say,
No,
that movie sucked.
I loved every minute of it. It was so good.
Mess up how they got the movie made, but from what I understand, there was this dude who used to hang around the comedy store a lot and fancied himself an actor. And there's a guy down there at the comedy store named Don Barris. Don Barris is a great prankster, comic. He does something called the Ding Dong Show. You go late night to the comedy store, you're gonna see Don. You're gonna see some weird shit. And he's notoriously funny and bananas. Well, Don set up this movie. Here's a fake movie, script and everything. But the movie was casting this dude, Scary Carey, maybe was his name. Carey.
I don't even remember.
They cast Carey in this movie. That was fake.
I thought it was Perry.
Perry. They
it's
filmed
Perry.
the whole fake movie, but they filmed him. They filmed the movie. It was like a spoof.
So
they actually filmed.
Movieception.
They
Yeah,
filmed
yeah,
the
movie-
movie
They filmed the movie, but
while they were filming the movie.
Yeah.
And in the movie, they made Perry do all his own stunts.
he was the main character
and do some
like,
terrible shit. He's like, "Do I really have to?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, you want to be in the Bobcat Goldthwait was the director."
Yeah.
He only ever talked with the megaphone, even at lunch. Fucking hilarious.
They had
dude.
a
They had a premiere
at
where
Man's Chinese,
where they showed
Like,
the fake movie and put it in the real movie.
Wow.
It
That's
was.
great. That's cool.
it's so
It's so.
When's it from?
It's from the gotta be, dude. I'll tell you what. I saw it. You remember when Santa vs. Jesus was going around Trey and Matt's VHS tape pre-South Park?
Yeah.
That's what really put them on the map. That used to be a viral video when people were handing each other VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And so that is how they really made their mark, right? Well, Windy City Heat was a VHS that just got passed around. It's on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Is it?
But
I want to watch it.
I'm telling you,
good.
it's so good if you just think about what they pulled off.
Yeah.
and he still thinks he was the star of a movie,
Right.
Because
In the premiere.
and yeah, he thinks that people have that movie or can see it, but
I don't know if he still thinks.
Oh, really?
I don't know if he still does, but I know he did when
If
Then,
he still
yeah.
thinks, then the whole world is keeping the best.
Yeah.
secret.
That's
the best secret of all time. Yeah.
pretty. It's and that was the first thing I showed him, just because to me, like, if I'm gonna show him what weird kind of that I think is funny, let's just start
That's
there.
a big
So good.
like weight to be like what because like you show him something that sucks and he's like my dad has bad taste.
I
or
was
I'm never
gonna
gonna listen
go Windy City Heat. Because I wanted to show him things I thought he would never watch. Naked Gun,
again.
Airplane,
Yeah.
Fletch. I
There's a
forgot-
remake going
By the
on
way,
right
the
now.
new remake of Fletch is great.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah,
that
if
with
you
John
don't
Hamm?
like comedies. I actually thought it was a decent movie.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think
just
it's
not a comedy.
I don't think it's very funny. I think
Yeah,
it's great. I think it's a whodunit.
Yeah,
It's a great whodunit.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I remember saying to my wife at one point, I'm like, I think that was supposed to be a joke, but it just feels like information.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching a TED Talk. I don't know. What the fuck.
I compare it to like Knives Out, where it's like it's more of a whodunit than like
yeah.
there's
I
a
like
line or
Knives
two
Out.
that's
It
a
was
little funny.
entertaining.
Right.
And he's an entertaining dude.
Yeah.
And I knew that it's funny. You know, it's funny when I watched that with my wife. All I was thinking is that she was thinking that he had a huge dick.
Yeah.
That's all I was thinking was like, I'm sure she's just looking
Bro,
to see
that
if
is
she can
all
see his dick
that's
right
all
now.
anybody is thinking about with that guy ever again. And I don't know if that's
Is it
a
bad
good
or
thing
good?
or bad. Yeah, like I think that's.
You think he works
that-
more or
that's
less?
That's like one of those monkey paw thing where it's like you would wish that for a genie, right? Like I want to have like, the biggest dick in the world, everyone know it, and then when it's literally all anyone's ever thinking,
Is
like
that
especially because
really
he wants to be
on your wish list?
Wait, who are we talking about?
John
John
Hamm.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
gonna
he's
say.
just
I was
got a
like,
fucking
you guys were just
hammer
saying him and this and he, and I was like,
Me,
I was
it's
like,
me.
who
Yeah,
the fuck are we
but
talking
like
about?
that guy's a very good actor, right? And like,
But-
but a lot of people are like,
Are you
big dick,
telling
big
me
dick,
right
big
now
dick, big dick.
biggest dick is that would be something you would
No,
want to be
not
known
me,
for?
but you know, like tropes, like fucking,
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
no-
cliche.
I
I wouldn't waste like one of my 3 wishes. If I had like a whole bunch of wishes, I'd eventually ask.
He just said not top priority, but if
I'd
I
ask
got
for like
room
7
for it,
inches.
where on
Maybe
the
on
wish
like
list?
my
where on the wish list?
like my 27th wish or something.
Oh yeah, down there at the Carlton Fisk wrist.
he's like not a top
Right down there,
priority.
Pudge. You asked for the fucking
Like, I've got like taken care of everything like real and
Yeah.
good
Not-
and give me a couple more inches.
Not a top priority, but if you got the
20s
space,
Yeah, 27 seems like what
Right
else?
about it.
Yeah, you're
That's
like,
at the
I don't
point
need
where
any
you're like-
flamingos. What else? Do I need? You know, you don't.
I love it,
You know,
man.
hoverboard. Yeah, go bigger dick.
I would pick a hoverboard first. I would,
Over big dick?
one of the I never could skateboard a lick. Like I couldn't even like put my fucking
Me neither.
foot on the board and
it's
just like
so
pedal
cool.
push along. And I would absolutely that might be like one of my 3 wishes is to be able to be like bam, I could skateboard and surf and do all that
Is
shit.
that okay? If you were going to pick one sport, one skill that you don't have, that's skateboard is yours?
Are we
Like,
talking
what
like
level?
skill? Like I'm gonna be a professional athlete? Like no, because then I would pick like I'd be like a lefty reliever and play for like 30 fucking years. You know.
Oh, you picked lefty reliever over golfer?
Yeah, I don't really like golf, so I would pick something
the golf
baseball related
lifestyle
where I can
seems
just.
pretty great.
It is. It's.
You get to
It's-
pick when you play. When you play baseball, you don't.
But then I have
well,
to decide if I'm gonna do live or not. And
I would be on that Saudi Arabian. I would be on that Saudi Arabian because you can pick when you play.
Did you see? Isn't a bad guy.
Did you see how much money Justin Thomas,
Dustin Johnson.
Dustin Johnson made? He played like 6 events this year, and he made more money than like his whole PGA Tour combined.
Yeah,
it's
It was like,
fucking
he made
bananas.
Like $3 million per
I don't
event.
care
18
who's back in
total,
it.
18
was it?
added alphas after.
Justin Thomas and Dustin Thompson seem like the same
Dustin-
name.
Dustin Johnson.
Dustin Johnson.
Yeah,
They seem
yeah,
the
yeah,
same.
The way I
Yeah,
remember,
yeah.
DJ,
Those are the same
DJ
guys,
is
just with a little
married
more
to,
coke on one or the other.
Yeah. He's married to
Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the way
That's
to
actually a
remember
good way to.
it. Yeah.
It's a good one. Yeah,
it's a good way to remember it.
I'd like to be remembered as that. Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you guys a
What time is
question,
it right now?
and I know you guys we got to fly, but I want to ask your honest opinion on the show that we shot
On
Family Tussle. Because I pitched it to a bunch of places, and they had a bunch of really terrible ideas about what the show could be or couldn't be or should be or shouldn't be, and so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna self-fund it," just like I did with my comedy special. Before
I said to you earlier, I was like, I've heard so many people say they and them. It's like they wouldn't do it. You know, they wouldn't produce it. These guys, you know, I was like, who is they and them? And like they're
people who used to be the gay people.
Yeah,
gatekeepers.
yeah. And I'm like, fuck all those people, man.
Dude.
do whatever.
Remember,
and you're in a spot where you can self-fund it. Certain people you
But-
have to play by the rules, but once you don't have to,
Kevin,
fuck them.
Only because in 2000, whatever, 17, 18, I thought I was going to have to quit comedy. Before that Father of the Year came out, that one where I was like, I remember.
Really? 17, 18?
Listen, man, I was felt great on stage, but my tickets had dropped. I was off of Chelsea Lately and TV for long enough where they weren't really my fans. I love them, but they were her fans, right? So eventually they fall off. And I hadn't quite figured out YouTube, and I put that special up. Nobody was buying my special, and I put it up probably before most people were.
Yeah, you were early on that.
And I just bet on the quality of. I'm like, I know this is good.
Yeah.
I know, and so I did it.
How many
When
views
I-
did that do? Do you know?
I like the special has over 10 million views.
Yeah, that's a fucking monster
and the
number.
clips have between Facebook and YouTube have over 200 million views.
Those
But-
clips are so many.
But that's when I was like, and I was talking to him. he was like, dude, you've done all of this on your own already.
Yeah.
Why are we
why
asking
even bother with
somebody
them?
else?
Yeah.
I've never been more proud of anything I've ever made in my life than this. We did 10 episodes, not just because I got to do it with him, but because from opening the notebook, page 1, to closing it,
Did it all
wrap,
your way. Yeah.
this was
Yeah.
something I got
What
to do myself.
I love about it is the like a little bit of old school Barstool where we used to do all like the physical challenges.
Yeah.
And we like that kind of has gone by the wayside here, and I like seeing like the dunk contest was like a throwback to like the shit that we used to do. But then the dunk contest is fine, whatever. All the punishments and all that can be.
The punishment, there was a little bit too much spread asshole.
Old man asshole.
How do you think?
Less old asshole.
How do you think? I felt I was in the fucking room.
Yeah.
I was in the room.
Well, that's on you, dog. I would have been like, all right, Dad, you got to go do this.
No, that was a creative decision. I was like, yo, fuck that. I'm not in the room. And he was like, oh, if I'm getting my asshole waxed, you're watching.
Bro, that's like I don't know who's the big loser there.
I hired my brother to be set photography, so he was with that zoom lens like, do I got to take a picture of this? Get in there, dude.
Tell him what he said.
Hey, by the way, did it hurt? Because I have to do it.
He's got to get his asshole waxed.
I have to do it too. I have to get my asshole waxed.
The butthole didn't work. The top of the mound hurt.
That's what everyone says. The asshole's fine. The two people I've talked to.
I was thinking about it though.
Like everyone.
Because John's walking around. How's your asshole feel to get waxed?
Excuse me, can I ask a quick poll? How's your asshole?
Like when you just pull.
But your asshole goes through a lot. Your asshole's got some metal to it. It's toughness.
Listen, it's been through a lot.
Yeah.
You're your age.
Yeah.
Just judging by your body, it's been through a lot. You know, a couple of hairs being pulled off. I think you're gonna be all right.
It is pretty bald as is.
Yeah.
I thought the banter too, though. I like at the end when the two comics who are the judges of the dunk contest, and you guys are all just shooting the shit. I mean, that's what will always make our audiences laugh, right? It's just like busting balls and clowning each other, because that was as organic and funny as it gets. Whether so you can plug in a dunk contest or a boxing match or whatever else you plan, as long as that's there, like that's the authentic.
I agree. You know, we kept it on purpose. You could see the crew behind me.
Yeah, right. yeah. It's very. It doesn't feel like. It's like a Barstool video. It's like we're just here to do the thing, not to like create a video for you. You know,
this is what I want you to feel like it was fun to watch.
Yeah,
and it's when I say you can see the set behind me, it's well produced.
Yeah,
This is not a piece together shit. It looks good. It sounds good. But you can see some of the background to it, and to see how it was put together and the other people working there. I like that shit, man. And I like the flowiness.
The LaFleurs, and I also like the nostalgia. I'm always a big nostalgia guy that comes with it. Where like watching it, I could vividly remember the first time I beat my dad at something, and I can tell like it was football, and I got around the edge on him, but it was like Thanksgiving, so I was slipping in the leaves, and I like rolled into the end zone in the backyard. And like I could see his face, like, oh fuck, like, he got around me.
Yeah,
like, what the hell?
Like I was
and,
trying.
Like,
and
I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah.
So like the nostalgia there is always.
Also, 8-foot hoops is one of the greatest things ever. There was these guys like just 10 years ago when I first started.
Nostalgia, the 8-foot hoops too.
These guys in Staten Island back in like 2010 started an 8-foot hoop league, and they were all like D1 ex athletes who like couldn't make it but are still fucking awesome, and they had real courts. Like really glass backboards, like blue court, like nicely, you know, like. And these guys could fly, and they put together like highlight reels of their games. And I think they were also playing. It was kind of like and one. It was like we're playing, but we're also gonna let you get these dunks
above
off
the rim.
And these guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're probably jumping over it.
It was amazing.
Sitting on the rim, they just like slowly put the ball in.
It's like slam ball, but without them killing each other.
It was called like
probably without the padded rims too. If I had to guess on Staten Island.
I feel like
like put up. What do you want? A pool tube around it? What are you, gay, dude? Fucking blue voter wants a pool tube around the rim.
No man, I can't even imagine too doing it with your son. I know you said that's like an extra, but that's got to be an awesome. And you for doing it with your dad like that. And my kid's so young now, I can't even imagine 10, 15 years from now doing something like that with him. It's got to be wild.
Well, did you like?
Thank God he's like handsome and like funny and shit. Like if he wasn't, and you were trying to do this, but boy, Jacob's dead weight over here.
He'd be carrying a fucking 140-pound backpack the entire time.
I could use him to be a little less handsome. Yo, when we do shows together, our meet and greet lines are completely different.
I'm sure.
Yeah. It is a whole different ballpark. I'm like, what's going on over there?
Keep it moving, honey. Keep it moving.
Well, hands to yourself. Jesus.
All right, so that's all going to be on YouTube?
It's on my
Josh Wolf
YouTube
Comedy?
channel, Josh Wolf Comedy. And then I'll be dropping things on Facebook too. We're on the road together a bunch. We're doing Australia and New Zealand in January.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, we
Bro,
put out,
that to me is also the sign of like you can go literally to the other side of the world and people are fucking with you enough that they're buying tickets and going out and shit.
2
days.
It's not just they don't just fuck with us. Within 2 days, almost every single show in Australia is sold the fuck
we're gonna
out.
have to add. We already added shows to one city. We're gonna have to add shows to the other city. Shows
The show's in January.
That's wild.
It's been pretty crazy. I'm telling you, like,
is that like your mark? Like, is that?
I don't know, man.
The support's been crazy.
Yeah, it's been
from everywhere. Like we'll do a live video and it's we see
popping in
Sweden,
weird countries
Norway,
and shit.
like
it's
like
so humbling, dude. Like
Indonesia,
like,
everywhere. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's so humbling. It's a different. I have such a different perspective, man. You know, when I step on stage now, I used to be. I used to have a think a little more aggressive attitude, and now when I get on stage and I see people out there, I know who's on my list of people who I would leave my house to go see. So the fact that I'm on anyone's list, every time I hop on stage, I'm like, holy fuck, you
guys
left
are
your
here?
house?
Yeah.
You left your house to see me.
Houses are so sick.
Yeah, dude. Your shoes.
Do you have one? They're amazing.
Alcohol is free.
Your shoes were off, and you put them back on. You put on like there wasn't a fire. All right, yeah.
That is
So
crazy.
it's super cool, man.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
I really appreciate you guys having both of us on. And
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You
man.
kidding me? Come on.
Absolutely. This is
This kind of ensures that there'll be you'll be dead soon.
Yes.
And then there will still be a wolf like on our show. There'll be like 30 years of wolf
How many?
appearances. You know?
I'll take that.
How many comics had you had on before me?
Nah. Nate Bargatze was the first one I ever did. That I know for sure. And then after that, you're within that first group. Yeah. And I always appreciate that. You've always really like supported the show and behind the scenes and on the internet and everything. It was awesome.
Well, I really, like I said,
Because Chelsea Lately was one of the inspirations for Barstool. Dave always said he wanted it to be like part PTI, part of the interruption, part like SNL, I think, and part Chelsea Lately with the round table and the current events and all that shit.
Well, dude, when I worked on the show, we used to do news topics, right?
Yeah.
We'd make jokes of. And so everybody else would go straight to entertainment news, and I'd go straight to Barstool.
Yeah. But that's funny.
and I
It's like
remember
you
that
guys
would be-
you're taking ours, but we were like trying to be like you.
I would always, and so when Chelsea would read it, and she'd be like, "This is from Barstool."
Yeah, we were always like, "Fuck
Sports?"
yeah!"
That was always from it.
Yeah.
On like the TV, there would be like our webpage
Yep.
or
A
whatever.
picture of the
and
screen.
Every time
Yeah,
we,
that was
post
awesome.
It, we'd be like, "We're
That
on
was cool,
Chelsea
man.
Lately."
That really mattered back then. It was like it was like
I remember
we were-
posting an ad I posted an ad on Barstool for a show in Boston, I want to say.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But I remember when Dave was doing stuff at the park with Poppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Dude,
yeah,
it's
man.
awesome.
That was
the good old days.
Yeah.
Now he has $100 million.
and he hasn't
100
and he hasn't changed a bit.
It's not at all. Not at all. You know what? He one of my favorite answers from anybody ever on any question ever. Somebody called up and was like, "You sold out. Like now you're like the rich asshole when you used to be, blah blah." Yeah. And he was like, "I was always that guy. I just didn't have the money."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, I didn't change at all. The money changed, but I was always that guy. Yeah. Now I can just do it." And I was like, "You know what? You're a fucking asshole, but that's great."
Basically, it was like I was the same guy, but since I was poor, you were like, "I know that dude." Right. I know that dude, but now he's rich. You're like, "Look at this rich asshole."
One time, Dave Portnoy waited in like a little bit of a rain sprinkle for playoff tickets to the Red Sox, and that became the salvo for Barstool Sports. We're the guys who wait in the rain for the tickets. Like, you did that once, motherfucker. And ever since then, you've been in suites. Get out of here. Worked out pretty well though. So
yeah, dude. Amazing.
All right, so everybody go check it out. Family Tussle and everything else. Otherwise on Josh Wolf Comedy.
ComedianJoshWolf.com.
ComedianJoshWolf.com. And do you have
just
Instagram or whatever?
Yeah, Instagram Jake_Wolf.
Easy
Come see
peasy.
what's up. Yeah, super easy. I post a lot of pictures that my girlfriend takes of me. That's
There you
pretty
go.
much it.
Not
All right,
those
boys.
kind of pictures.
Yeah.
We learned our lesson. We learned our lesson.
That's a nice bookend right there.
I got my own iCloud now, everybody. Fuck that.
All right, big thank you to Josh and Jacob for coming through. We are going to get to some voicemails with just me and Johnny here to keep our voicemails alive. So
Send in some new ones too.
yeah, we do need new ones. We need a whole new crop of video voicemails. If you don't want to put your face on it, you can just cover the camera or
Point
film
it
the
at something
wall.
else, or
Yeah, there's a
you
million
understand how
ways.
not to be on camera, right?
Right. Just
There you
don't
go.
have your phone. People saying that. I used to call in, but now I can't. It's like, just don't show your face, you dummies. It's brought to you by Thursday Boots. The only thing that has been alive and is around as long as our voicemail line has been Thursday Boots. They're a company that they've been in the game for a while now. We've done our olive green colored boots with them. We did the brown leather boots with them. We did our sneakers with them. They have the best handcrafted boots on the internet, and they sell them directly to the consumer with the lowest markups in the footwear industry. We're not just talking about boots, we're talking the footwear industry. They cut out the retailer, they cut out the middleman, and they give you all of the savings. So that way you get premium, I think South American leather. I think they go down to like Mexico, and South America, and they source
No one's
all this
definitely in
beautiful leather, and they bring it back, make these versatile boots that range from like performance to all the way to fashion, and it's durable, quality, will last for years, and you're not going to pay that high retail markup. They're built to last. They've been here for years, but we started with them in like 2017, I think. Their boots back then were $199. Guess how much they are now?
I bet they're $1.99.
$1.99.
Yeah,
And guess
yay.
what? We're going through a little something I like to call inflation, and the price has never even fucking
Costco
changed.
burgers, Costco dogs,
Everything went up. Arizona
tea.
iced tea going up. Thursday Boots, still the same. That's ThursdayBoots.com. ThursdayBoots. I think you know how to spell Thursday, and I think you know how to spell boots. Put them together. ThursdayBoots.com. Get a high pair of quality boots that you'll be wearing for years today. It's free shipping and free returns at ThursdayBoots.com.
All right, obviously driving right now, listening to you guys answer my styrofoam cup voicemail. It was not a souvenir cup. It wasn't anything cool. I actually don't even know where the man got it because it didn't look like something you could get inside a stadium. Doesn't matter. I know I talk too much, Kevin. I'm very self-conscious about it.
Sorry.
I am driving behind a car right now with a license plate that says Pacino. My question is, what would your vanity plate be if you had one? You were going to get one.
Because they're all
had one.
inherently asshole.
I believe you have 6 characters. So 6 characters, what's your license plate going to say?
They like automatically, if you do this, you're an asshole.
100%.
So, but if you gotta do it, it's a cool exercise to be like, can you make this cool? Can you make a vanity license plate cool?
I didn't have a vanity plate. I did it. I guess it technically was a vanity plate, but on my first car, I had a vanity plate, which was it wasn't like it wasn't a custom numbers and letters.
Okay.
But it was just a Bruins plate.
Okay. All right.
So
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like something
it has
goes
a
like
logo on it,
the
but
Boston
but
Bruins
you still just
Foundation
have, like,
or whatever it was.
ACT.
Yeah.
439,
It had random whatever.
I mean, you've seen it all. Most vanity plates are usually bragging about the car and the money. You know what I mean? It's like Dr. Dollars
Vanity plates, fantasy football vanity plates, fantasy football teams, and boat names are all things that the person who chose it thinks it's the funniest fucking thing of all time. No one else is even remotely interested in it.
I do like the boat name challenge.
I
think you can come up with a cool boat name.
Yeah, they're very, very often you're like, that's a fucking douchebag.
Well,
name.
the vanity plate is like, it's a license plate. It's stupid.
Yeah.
A fantasy football team name, you're trying to be like sexual innuendos. It's like whatever. A boat is like, I bought this and I own this and I like take care of this, and you can name it like Belichick having 7 rings.
Yeah,
that's a cool. That's cool.
Right. I think he's up to 8 rings. I forget.
But a vanity plate.
Fucking hey, man.
I mean, it's hard to be like do something
With
you're inherently against.
6 characters is
That's
crazy.
also tough too, because that's where you get.
I mean, SAFTB.
That would be cool. In 2015.
No, I think it's come around.
What if you did Sad Boy? Sad Boy. SADBOY. Sad Boy.
I think that's a little too like I don't know. You probably get out of tickets a lot.
Well, you know what's weird? Like Sam Roberts has his Twitter handle is not Sam. His fucking Jeep says not Sam. And I was driving on the highway once and I saw him and I was like, I was like, filming. I was like, is that Sam? And he was like, yeah, it's me.
Really?
So it's kind of a weird way to be like, everybody knows who you are. The cops are gonna know who you are. Like people, in the streets might know who you are. If it's like a direct, your Twitter handle or something like that, where people know exactly what it is.
I'd have Pig Boy. Whistle pig.
Pig Boy.
I'm a little Pig Boy.
Imagine you get pulled over.
Like Pig
Boy, license and registration, please.
Pig Man. I do like in my fantasies. I'm always a boy still. 34 years old. I could be a man.
I think this is better.
Oh, I'm gonna create something. Let's call it boy. Saturday for the boys. Sad boy. Bro, you're 34. You're going gray, dude.
You're going gray?
No, fuck no. It'd be ridiculous.
I'm going gray. Shay says to me the other day, "You're gonna turn into Santa Claus." It's like, by the way, that's not really gonna happen. Don't get your hopes up.
By the way, Santa's not real. Anyway, go fuck yourself.
I think tweet at us. What should our license plate be? I think it's funnier to make them for other people. It's hard to come up with them yourself.
Yeah.
All right, last voicemail. What do we got?
What's up, KFC Fights? First time, long time. Listening to you guys for probably about 7-8 years now. Great
Big
show,
toe.
love it.
I got a big toe.
Shout out Thrones in the background there. Big time Thrones fan.
Big toe.
Big toes are
But
big.
anyway,
Bro.
really
You
awkward
got
on
Fred
videos.
Flintstone
It's
toes,
not
bro.
going to be a well thought out sentence or question here, but hopefully the question itself is actually good. I was just listening to the episode where you interviewed Maddie Smith, and you guys were talking about how she's from Buffalo, and the pizza place that she worked at is actually owned by my family in a way. It's my aunt's brother-in-law that owns it, and my aunt was like a general manager there for however many years until the whole lawsuit that she mentioned and everything. But I just thought it was kind of crazy that, like, at the start of the podcast, I had never heard of Maddie Smith at all, and then next thing you know, it's a really weird, like, close connection. So I guess my question is just, what's the craziest close connection or craziest connection you found out of something that you would
6
never
degrees of
expect,
separation is one of the most
nowhere.
fascinating human things in the world.
Correct.
Like,
I
it
agree.
really is. I mean, I know it's a huge thing in a movie, and people do know it, but it's a phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild that, like, you got to know a lot of things and a lot of people, and, like, there are some pretty, like,
But
you can do it,
I always do that with my friends where I'm like, you realize you're on the 3rd degree of Kevin Bacon now.
right.
I was like,
That's what I mean.
I've interviewed Kevin Bacon.
That's
You
it.
are now the
You're done.
2nd degree.
Yeah, 2nd degree.
You're now the 2nd degree of Kevin Bacon.
Right.
Like that's crazy.
That's all it takes. It's so weird that you can do that with, like, a lot of people. But that's, I think this is why people, like, love podcasts. It's just like you know what? I was thinking
Maddie, by the way, is the fucking best.
She is.
If you haven't listened to that episode,
her.
I didn't finish it. You texted me about it, and I pretended I did finish it.
Oh, you didn't.
I think you saw me. I liked it. I just kind of scroll and tap. I don't.
You didn't see this video.
No.
So
Very
Maddie
funny.
Smith, who is so fucking funny and so likable, I love her. She fell off a treadmill. She broke her arm.
Because
She said she broke her funny bone. I think she maybe meant collarbone, or maybe she did something to her
I
funny
think she's
bone.
just making a joke.
Oh, okay.
If I had to guess, I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't really seem like a joke. But listen to this, and make sure you hear the. You have to listen to the very end.
What's up, motherfuckers? I fell off a treadmill yesterday and fractured my funny bone. So I'm just gonna go back to being fat. I'm not I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not trying. This is my hand job hand. Luckily, I still got that mouth though, and the asshole.
And the asshole. And her top comment on her own thing was, sorry, I thought you guys knew I was saving my pussy for marriage. and the asshole. So fucking funny.
She is very, very funny. What was I honestly, unfortunately, I blacked
it was
things
just
out.
like he
I just remember her story.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, what was her story?
But the fact that it's just funny that people, when people say, man, I would kill to be a fly on the wall of that. That's what podcasting is.
Yeah.
You just get to be a fly on the wall of, like, your favorite comedians and podcasters and shit, and you get the right guests and the right mix in the room, and it's like, I get to just, like, creepily listen. That's the phrase that people always say is what the whole podcasting industry is basically made out of. So I'm sure this shit kind of happens all the time. It's like, I don't know who this person is, and then you find out, like, oh.
But like in your personal life, do you have wait, we know each other? I have it, like, I've had some hockey camp connections because, like, the hockey world's so small that, like, you used to like, oh, bro, we were at camp together. Like, we'll end up playing each other 10 years later in high school. It's like, wait, dude, you were at PC camp, right?
Right. Yeah. I keep it pretty tight. I don't have a big family. I don't have like that many people that I like. I'm sure through Barstool I've had, a couple. Did I tell you about
I have one of my I don't even think this really applies. I just like the line. When I went to high school with one of my now current like best friends, but at the time we didn't talk to each other at all the first year, and even like we have family, like our friends are our families are friends.
Yeah.
And it was still like we don't talk to each other, and his line to his mom was, "What am I supposed to say to him? Our parents go to church together? I'm passing."
Yeah.
And then, but that definitely doesn't apply to this at all. But I don't know why I just wanted to say the line.
I got Brooks Bollinger made a video about me recently.
Who's Bruce Bollinger?
Old Jets backup quarterback, Brooks Bollinger. Quarterback, where'd he go to school? Brooks Bollinger. I want to say he was in like red and white. I feel like he played in. He played for the Jets, the Vikings, and the Cowboys. Wisconsin. I knew it was white and red. So this guy comes up to me at the upfronts and he's like, I got this video of Brooks Bollinger fucking like clowning you and making fun of you based on the KFC list. I was like,
what list?
What are we talking about? And he's like, there was a blog where you compared all the other quarterbacks based on Brooks Bollinger. So it was like Michael Vick is worth like 1.5 Brooks Bollinger.
Okay.
Mark Sanchez, like the Brooks Bollinger scale, not list, scale. And so he made this video where he's like smoking a cigar, drinking some Whistle Pig, and he's like sitting in this like mansion room really, and he's like, I'm gonna make the KFC scale, and I'm gonna like rate other like analysts and personalities on the KFC scale. And I'm watching this video and I was like, what in the absolute fuck is going on? I was like, I mean, I wrote a million Jets blogs back in the day. I really don't remember, though, the Brooks Bollinger scale. I don't know what's going on. Very confused. He seems to be very salty all these years later. I don't know what's happening. Eventually, I Google it, and it was when I had my buddy Joe Caparoso, who's like a diehard Jets fan, was blogging on the site.
Okay.
And he wrote a blog, the Brooks Bollinger scale. But it's very clear, his thing was the Jet Stream, was his like podcast. So it said on the top, like, buy the Jet Stream. It was like when we used to have those like outsourced guys. But there was a moment where I was just like, what is going on? Why is this even fucking happening? So now I just know that Brooks Bollinger like hates my guts and like makes videos about me and it has nothing.
All thanks to the Jet Stream.
All thanks to the Jet Stream. And it was a good blog, and it was like it was a very like it was like what we used to do. Like I'm gonna 4.5 balls, 4.5 Brooks Bollingers. But I just knowing that Brooks Bollinger thinks that he's just sitting there stewing about me. Like,
it's like a recent video too.
Yeah, I think so. It's fucking crazy. All right, that's it for us. We will catch you guys on Thursday for another episode of KFC Radio. Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be fast, so that's it.